here, and we had high hopes for this team, but
hello everyone. Hello. How are you all doing?
The way we thought they were going to perform.
Yeah, I mean, this was
How
a
is
team with a
everyone
lot
doing
of
today?
hype. You know, a lot of people were high on them, myself included, in the offseason. I thought
Foxy 9 is back? Yeah, I just had that. Foxy 9 for suggest.
It was a little bit worse than we expected,
Which
but still not bad. They still beat PRX, they still got
kinda, I mean, if we were just looking at pure firepower out of the two,
there's no
well,
other way around it, right?
out of the 4 players they had, I think this is the most firepower.
I agree, in kickoff they had some great games, but a lot of those were on Abyss.
Unless we're
not even
changing
in the
per
pool
map.
anymore. I just want to ask you guys, like, what is DFM's style? What are they, like, what is their style exactly? Because, like, I'm looking at all these comps, I'm looking at all these role swaps, and I'm like, I don't understand exactly what it is that they're doing.
60-man roster. It is crazy in Pacific, man. So much weird stuff's going down. What's on DRX signing Estrella?
But they keep changing what they're doing. They're playing the G2 comp on Pearl, then they're playing a bit more of a meta comp, then they're playing double duelist ISO Yoru.
He can't be. Is he in the starting lineup? I mean, he wasn't that bad on RRQ at all.
I don't understand what this team is actually going for, and they're not finding a lot of success just chopping and changing. I think they just need to go back to what's basic and
is he on the starting team? They went 6-man as well.
Might be a really key point there, Pilsky. Now, GENG, I think if they were playing DFM 2 weeks ago after their performance against Boom, we might have thought this would be a
Estrella was good on RRQ, that's what I'm saying.
Their defeat on PaperX is giving us a very different.
I did sleep. Slept good. I'm excited to sleep after this. I'll say that much. I'm definitely tired this morning. Can you do a day in the life video, but it's just me waking up, watching Valorant for 14 hours and going to sleep? I mean, yeah, we could do that.
As you mentioned, 2 staple players of this roster. They showed up big against.
We kind of see, it's kind of what we see right now, though. It's kind of just the stream.
Because those are the stars of the 2023 roster. Really,
you're kind of just saying you want to see me sleep, which is a little bit weird.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
they can't afford.
It's okay.
Munchkin's one of the best players in the tournament right now. Charon's doing decently. Texture has good stats, despite the fact that
I'm excited to sleep after this. Is such a real statement. Yeah.
He's conceding a lot more openings than he's creating at the moment for GENG, which historically you would never say about Texture. So they've still got some things to figure out.
Will we ever see your fantasy league team?
Yeah,
I can show
I
it
don't
right
think
now
they've
if you want.
super unlocked Ash's full potential yet, so there's still some ceiling there, but just the core of the team is just so good.
How did we do this week?
I think so too. Let's see the map draft and
this is
see
more
if
important.
this is
Let's wait for
going
map
to
pick
secure
first.
things even more so for GENG, or if maybe DFM has some sort of advantage here.
So ban out Ascent, I mean that did not go well for them against
Lotus.
Boom. They've just binned that map entirely.
DFM think they have the best chance on Fracture.
So that makes sense. GENG, they pick Lotus. What comp are they going to play,
And
guys?
Haven,
I'm
maybe?
super curious.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't think it gets
Lotus
more
Fracture
iconic
Haven.
than GENG on Lotus, to be honest. I remember when the map first came out in 2023, the 2023 GENG team.
My fantasy league at the moment is this. What do we got? Koala Noob did okay.
I saw in 2023, and then 2024 they were amazing, and they're running with
Wait,
it now.
Derek played, man. He got me 0 points.
Yeah, for DFM picking Fracture, that is a question mark. It's not even a map.
I needed to get rid of the EG players. Do you know my? Do you know my qualms with this? I'm excited to see what they do with this website because I feel like
I quite like it.
I want more options than switching. I would love to be able to switch 2 out per week. I think 1, you have the most limited options. I think because I didn't read the rules at the beginning, I got a little bit wrecked. Because you can only change 1 person out. I also think that the scoring technique should probably be a little bit different instead of just 4 or 5Ks. But
I mean, not in the roles that they are, because they got art on the Omen. I want to see them.
I do have
not play
texture
the
today,
double controller,
IGL though.
swap
It
GM
might
back
save
onto
me.
the Omen. It's the agent that he had the best performance on.
Slideshow is somehow top 5 in the VFL. Yeah, that's how you know the scoring system's not the best.
But we'll see what they're going to roll with.
All right, well, let's see what our predictions are, and it is full flush GENG. This wasn't the case, you know, the last 2 weeks with GENG, especially after their shaky
Paper Finn's sitting at a 42%.
Right now you guys made a really good case.
That's rough, man. He's just like me in Pacific, yeah.
It seems the audience agrees with us on this one, but you know what? You never
He's
know
currently
when it
second
comes
in
to
the
Game
entire
of Valorant.
split.
We're
That's
gonna see new maps
crazy.
for both of these teams. So VCT Pacific Stage 1.
What's his team?
Now.
Oh, dude, he has Zeus in it. That's why, man. Oh, look at this guy. This guy benched Icy, though. He knows what he's doing. No love with the tier 1. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. Appreciate the tier 1. Chat. The RX Estrella, I think the guy's a good player, and like the pickup maybe in the off season makes sense. The pickup right now with how they're looking doesn't really make too much sense for me. But let's see what they want to do with it. That's all I can really say until I see something. Add Bowstrom to my team. Yeah, this is the thing, man. Like every week, I'm the most limited ever. Every week, I can make one move. So because because I wasn't paying too much attention in the first week, I've been absolutely owned. That's the issue. I'm telling you, 2 changes per week would really make it good. But we'll see how they keep it up. Do you think the Vice nerfs was deserved, or was it a little too much? I would argue that the Vice nerfs weren't enough, personally.
GENG.
Activity feed?
As we roll into week 3.
Wait, when was this?
We are really
Wasn't I live 10 minutes ago? Did you do it in the countdown?
Now, GENG, this is a
Gemiyuki, thank you so much for the 5 gifted.
Last year with their amazing run.
Thank you. Gemiyuki, you might, I mean, you're finding incredible timings. It's just sometimes the snitches, man. Thank you so much, Gemiyuki. I appreciate you.
But this is after not having him for a whole week.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a
It's amazing from TMD to improve the scene.
Oh,
it's an incredible thing for the scene. Really good. And it like it makes more people watch, makes more people care about players. It's like overall good.
We had a lot of hope, a lot of promise for DFM. We were thinking, is this the rise of Japanese Valorant once more? And one thing that never ever fails is their walkout here.
I respect it. It doesn't matter, you know, this is a good sign for their mental, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't matter what the score is. You know they're going to have fun in the walkout. But let's get down to it.
Suggest, well, we don't really know. He might be benched, it might be 6-person, like, depending on the map.
No, it has to change now. This has to change for DFM. We need to see something different from them today. Need to see them really fighting back against a tough opponent like GENG.
I do wonder, though, the patch 10.06 does get activated today. We know Vice is, you know, she's
it's today for Pacific?
On Lotus.
Yeah.
KO.
That's good to know.
Definitely also agents we see through the current map pools.
Yeah, I mean, Yoru's a potential. KO is kind of a very off-pick. You only see it in very niche scenarios, but Vice will definitely have an impact on this. It's a big pick at the moment. You might see GENG go back to Killjoy. They only recently swapped to Vice, and it was Suggest on the Vice, whereas Foxy was playing Killjoy last stage. So maybe that might be a bit more of a comfort pick, and they're just going to go with what's worked for them for a long time. We'll see.
I think for me, the Vice change isn't massive, but I do think it lines it more up with the other Sentinels that we see. So I don't think Vice is a must-play anymore.
Pacific this week is going to be hype. The 5 out of 6 guarantees.
So much more comfortable on Killjoy, or so much more comfortable on Cypher that it's worth it. But
and the only one that wasn't a guarantee was where I decided to go for Paper X.
Is that massive overall? Because you're still able to stall for 7 seconds with the Razor Vines instead of 10,
Wait, it would have been 6 for 6 if I had.
God, I can hear them
that's kind of crazy.
through our headsets. That was GENG.
If I had gone for Boom.
Yeah, and you can tell the difference. Like we've seen games where they've been a bit underwhelming and they haven't been as loud. I swear the games where they are screaming their heads off, I can hear it through my headset, are the games where these guys are fired up. I remember before that Haven game against Paper X, they were screaming their heads off.
Then if you saw but FX replaced Shrimp with Zai, yeah, FX didn't look too good. I watched a few, well, I watched a fair amount of it.
Quite poorly for them, as well as the rest of the games on on, is it B-Day for May today?
I don't know.
Really? Okay, I did not know that.
Let's get that check production. This is a major update if it's his birthday.
It is.
You not heard of the birthday buff?
You got to pick it up with these guarantees after the Vitality one.
Can I change my prediction? I mean, what to say?
I mean,
I don't want to go against
how many people
I've
had
never seen a
Fnatic though?
team lose
Fnatic against
birthday buff day.
Vitality.
It's actually
With how
phenomenal, so I
Vitality
wonder if
looked
this is
the week
the case.
before.
We're gonna look into that. In the meantime, we're gonna
Well,
send
saying
this
that,
over
they
to
went to
our casters,
overtime.
Achilles and Paper Thin.
Against Koi. No. I'm thinking of a different team, right? I'm thinking of I did this earlier.
The 8th of April though, so this is going to be his performance ahead of that birthday that's
You
going
had
to be occurring
Fnatic,
here
you
in
did.
the midweek. But hello,
You guys
I'm
are savants,
Achilles.
man.
That's Paper Thin. I look like the jock student that is struggling, and you're the teacher that.
No, I was gonna say I'm the nerd that you're gonna beat up later after school or something.
Either is applicable, and either is fine by me. Regardless, welcome to the show. We're
Dude, he
back
gave him a
once again for some
freebie.
more Valorant. And
He gave him a
Gen
freebie.
G
That's funny.
making up some changes. Foxy9 stepping back into this roster after us seeing suggestions to start of stage 1. Is this a scrim result? Is this something to do with the patch change and perhaps Foxy fits into the meta a little bit better
Did
here
you see
for
that the
Gen
numbers
G?
on the Vice
I don't
snuff
know,
are
but
wrong?
we're gonna find out.
The
Yeah,
Vines
no,
are
I mean, I
actually
think there's a
6
lot of
seconds
reasons
instead
that
of
this could be the
second
patch change. You know, Foxy
Well,
is a KO
instead of
player. We do see that
7
from time to time,
seconds,
even though
dude.
it's
The
usually
morning
one
is so
kill,
hard.
Right, when they're going to KO on the map. So that
My brain just
wouldn't
doesn't
necessarily lead
function.
me to believe that.
The Vines
I
are
think
6
I like what
seconds.
Big Time was saying on the desk earlier, that this could very well just have been a kind of kick in the butt for Foxy.
That's interesting.
You know, you put somebody else in to get
So
him
from
motivated,
10
to get him
seconds
fired
to
up for
6
these games.
seconds, that
Because
is.
frankly, at times during kickoff,
Maybe that
he
is
did
a good
look a
enough.
little lost. He didn't look like he was playing
Maybe that is enough.
Gen G game plan like they had for Meteor last year on the Sentinel role, where you're lurking around, you're finding success in those regards. A great anchor, great individual player is Foxy, but sometimes when it came to executing the game plans, I suspect that that's maybe where they found him a bit lacking. So maybe now they feel like he's maybe in that
Why is
place
the
where he
EME
could
schedule
pick it
so
up,
weird compared to
find
every
more
other
impact
region?
with the way
Yeah,
that
but
Solo
imagine
and,
imagine it was
company
like every
want
other
to
region.
navigate this squad.
It would,
So
the weekend
I'm
would
curious
just
to
be
see how it's all
24
gonna
hours
look.
of
Big eyes on
non-stop
that. Big
Valorant.
eyes for me as well on the other,
I wouldn't be able to function.
Sentinel across the board from him onto
They're the only one that takes the hit and does the weekdays. May gets raid boss. We've got DFM on nope, DFM on attack, Gen G on defense. We go for a double bait, commit.
Aggressive position alongside Munchkin and taking that first contact here outside of B main, but it's going to be DFM coming away. The lion's share of the kills, 2-1 in their favor. There's a comment trying to stay back here around the corner. That nade doing so much damage and can't quite get away from it.
Shout out to that extra bullet just hitting.
Shots coming through, slowing him up. Gen G doing well to go ahead, trade it back, keep the numbers even now into a 3v3.
They do it just for my sleep schedule.
Just gonna say tucked in behind the box. Swings out though.
Yeah, definitely not because of League of Legends or anything.
Deal with it. Texture's able to find both of them.
Wait, Texture's my IGL.
Get this. No opportunity for an ace here in the round, so the map's still going to be safe for him. But
we can still catch up to Sideshow. Doesn't matter about the IC 0 points if Texture gets like 50 points.
As much as possible, grabs that orb, and now we'll look to see if he can come away with some kills. But this pistol is looking very much
Foxy9, don't you even do it.
This should be nigh undoable for GN. I mean, he's going to try a wraparound.
No, Foxy9, you've done me die.
Making sure that, you know, if there is a one and done, they've got backup plans for somebody to come in and cover, and it's not even going to matter. Foxy9 is going to be able to lock it down, get GN for the final kill. Gen G off to a good start. I mean, this just looked to me like DFM had a decent early idea on how they could catch a couple Gen G players out. Art hits a nice paranoia to start this out, to kind of set up the two other members of DFM. The problem is they get trapped there because of the other players
picking IC against Sen's Troll. Dude, I didn't pick him as for the first week. Listen to my subs.
Swing the door open, throw the nade in, and essentially win the round off the back of that.
Who else am I meant to play?
Well, nothing but classics here on the attack for the side of DFM.
Molzy.
Maybe looking
they lost against Navi. Mitch. They're playing MIBR. And Wild Oreo. They're playing...
More than happy to just go ahead and collect that.
He won, right?
Paron, just a couple stray shots here through the smoke. Will come away with a timing kill on the May. And what limited entry power DFM did have is very much taken out of their hands. Sheer wall going to be popped, but with the kill coming away already, more than enough information was gained. Art taking one to the shoulders. Texture just similarly spraying through the smoke.
D9 are playing Lev, mate.
Ash will find a headshot on the Jinbo.
Isn't that last week? D9 not playing Lev.
Covering fire, able to find Art. And this is just Gen G.
Just because it's the morning doesn't mean you can confuse me with this.
Well safe, Gen. We'll find one to go ahead and stop it from being a flawless.
He actually did 6 damage.
Gets himself a second elimination. GENG 2-0 start.
The Horn, dude, the Horn sometimes has
from
some
GENG.
weird interactions.
Just Texture playing very, very wisely with just a ghost in hand. You know, toxic screen comes up. That's already his signal to start shifting a bit.
Banana going to be MIBR? That one might be true.
Good opener there for Karan.
Maybe I should have gambled with it.
Okay, if there's a smoke there, there's a decent chance they're just going to try to bully their way into B. I like the ideas here from GENG. Just don't even let him get to a plant. Geez, nice shots from GN. Yeah, you'll take that as GENG. Pretty much what you could hope for there.
Still, though, decent firepower for GENG going into the bonus.
Okay, first big bonus, and
combo, as well as
I mean, it's nice on this one. They go aggro A. Texture can get his ult, or AWP for his ult.
These last couple of rounds, I like the way they are attempting to find the open space through GENG's defenses. And here, you know, created a little bit of attention. A lot of times, you know, DFM might just kind of take a pause. A little bit of contact for Foxy, though.
Yeah, sometimes you got to go for it, Saint.
Let's see if DFM is going to commit off of that.
Doesn't have the wall set up on this C-site. Granted, DFM not necessarily aware of that at the moment.
Yeah, they have to figure out where that wall is first, for sure. They are just poking and prodding. But this allowed Munchkin to slide on over, using that Poison Cloud to good effect to buy a little bit of extra time as well. Foxy going to try and play up close and personal. Well, throws down the Razor Vines. Backs a little bit further off.
Back around the corner, tap of the door, checking in towards B main. Nothing going to be seen there. GENG just maintaining position.
Foxy 9 can't sit still.
Taking too much aggressive space, and Thorns do go out here from Foxy. And here on the new patch, not going to be lasting nearly as long.
They decide to head over towards B. Ash has a fade eye.
I feel like they made too much noise over at C. Going to try B.
Well, there's the entry. Oh my god, there's the cut down. TP forward. Art does manage to get himself into the site, but now is going to be isolated and alone until that sheer wall falls. Goes down now.
Dude, the wall diff. We actually saw the wall nerf come into play.
Themselves into the site. The plant can
it would have been up for an extra 2 seconds.
They need to start getting this on the floor. Looking for the stick now. They have to stay absolutely glued to this one, but they just absolutely cannot. GENG will flood in off the back here. Minor hesitation, that sheer wall cutting them across. That's going to be the bonus conversion for GENG.
Yeah, I like the way that GENG is layering their smokes on C, layering the utility, so that even though the wall isn't there, the Vice wall,
they also didn't find the Vice wall, and then they're just committing over towards B.
Second guessing themselves. And again, a lot of attention, a lot of noise made over at C by DFM. And therefore, they felt like, okay, let's go B. There's a lot of smokes here. There's probably 2 here. Maybe we can. It
does look incredibly hard to play against a Vice when you don't have a Yoru still. I say still. I know we're only 3 rounds into the new patch, but that is just a thing.
Do you just yeet it at Texture and give him the ace so you can get the win?
Honestly, not a horrendous strategy. But there you go, 2,000 kill racked up for Texture. Congrats over to him. It's going to be on the real prize, which of course is going to be the match win. GN once again going to be left all alone. Just that Sheriff in hand, and position has been noted. As the gun barrel was spotted out, Boombot as well. Just to add insult to injury, let him know that he's very much pinned in. Munchkin will take it away with a final headshot. Not much going to be found aside
second buy round for DFM.
Initial kill here on the Foxy 9, giving him his first death on the map. But GENG 4-0 for DFM. Got to be scratching their heads. This is the side of the map that they need to be getting value on.
No, you're absolutely right. It is still just like they're not able to fully read their opponents yet. Things are just kind of a little bit discombobulated. You know, GENG has a good plan off the rip to get aggressive against the eco. Catches DFM off guard, and another moment there to give Texture his due. One of the best we have here in Pacific. 2000 joins an elite club. A couple others in there already, but certainly he has been.
Foxy 9 is back, yeah. At least for this map. At least for this week as well, I guess we should say. I do think GENG will stick with this. I am confident that in my head, this is probably the best 5 out of everyone they've tried.
Ooh, Ash. Nice shots here. Jin continuing to fire. And it's Ash now going to be stuck.
Oh, Gen did good though. How does Grounds got the kill?
My goat, let's go.
As Munchkin just looking for timing, playing along here. Cuts a crossover into the site. As the screen does fall, but player advantage for the side of DFM.
crazy what happens when you win the Rebel fight. Oh, Munchkin.
Almost. So we'll find that transfer. Jinbun just down to 36. Stays alive. His paint shell right here at Karen's feet. Forces him back away. Shifts position. Tap of the spike. Swinging around the backhand side. Spike will get planted.
Whoa.
The quick turn. Jinbun going to be struck down, but cannot find that crucial catch on the main, meaning that he's alive. That showstopper still is potentially in play here for DFM. They would love that. Have to not commit it, but Karon is just so damn fast.
Real nice shot, man.
Gets the headshot. Foxy has the other. Diffuse passed over, one away. Now from that steel guard, and GENG up 5-0 with plenty of money behind. And DFM, surely they have to be considering a timeout call.
Yeah, I mean, you can just kind of almost feel the confidence. I mean, good on GN to get. He's shooting today, but you could feel the confidence just leaving them. I mean, as May here, you know that Karon's in that corner. You have to pop the ult to at least force him back, or at least force the trade. Something like that. Yeah, you desperately need that round, and that's your best chance you've seen so far. You know, finally able to take some rubble control, finally able to use that to get to a post-plant position, and just felt like he could get it done with the guns. A little bit of hubris potentially, but there goes the nightfall.
Oh boy, Fedor's actually hit everyone. Oh no, the nade is so deadly.
Aggressive TP forward from Karen, not sure what that one was all about. Ends up getting cut down the side.
Yeah, I mean, he thought the nade cleared the corner. It actually, if that corner got cleared and the molly even reached, like, the play's pretty good.
So slow slide up.
Damn, dude, look at it though.
Crosses Foxy 9, collects the final 2 kills, 6-0.
Guys, you got a timeout.
I'm gonna stop saying that it should be a thing. I see the timer stopping. I was gonna say, I'm gonna tell you now, DFM, you need to time out.
Yeah, you know, I agree with you. It should have been the previous
You
round.
got a timeout, yeah.
They just don't look as well coordinated here. I mean, again, the nightfall, you just kind of shoot at the tethers.
I mean, they're just running into
off the back
multiple
of the util being
people.
There, Karon thinks he might be able to get away with catching DFM in a moment where they're scrambling to try to find some safety, but didn't really work. That's okay. Still won the round. I mean, the toxic screen there, you got to have kind of that internal timer on your head as DFM when that is going to drop, and they just don't. And
wonder if GENG decides to go aggro against this. They get
all the DFM players
what is
are
it,
just out
low
in the
buy?
open
They probably won't.
GENG to spray them down. So just kind of
If
unfortunately looking like the DFM we've seen here in stage
I think they
one,
just
where
need
they
to
don't
like
look
a
as
little
well
slow
coordinated, they don't look
default.
as
Like I
well
just need to
in
see
tune with the
them
game. They don't seem to have
take C
good
control
senses of
and then
where their
retake,
opponents could be
like
and
re-clear
when they
rubble.
could be and how
It just
they
feels
could
like
be
they
and all those
commit
things.
before
So
they've done
it's gotta be
the extra
frustrating.
steps that you have to do.
You know, this team that had a lot of promise, they looked so good in the offseason, showed a little bit of hope in kickoff. But
Are they playing on the new
one,
patch? Yes, they are. Yeah.
It has been a struggle to say the least. They just don't look as well coordinated. It feels like some of their protocols just aren't there, and trying to kind of shift around some players in different roles and things like that just don't seem to be going good.
No, it doesn't. And just with a quick
What
glimpse
happens
there,
to
maybe
DFM?
everything that needed to be
I
said
think
was
teams
said,
are
but
just starting
there
to
was
play
that
better as
shadow
well.
coming out from the DFM camp. Nearly 5 ultimates ready to be worked with here. Just Jinbun lacking one here for the moment.
I feel like
I mean, it could have just been a
everyone
timeout, just to
progressed
call a
pretty
set play off the back
fast,
of
and
the
they kind of
ultimates.
stayed the same.
Something like, you know, Kami's got the Nightfall, you've got the Showstopper, you know, a little tic-tac-toe.
Regular
action.
Mayo,
See if
thank
you
you so
can
much,
get
bro.
through
Appreciate the raid.
Onto the site, get the plant. You know, make sure GN's watching the flanks. Oh, Jin.
Yeah, this makes sense from GENG.
Final
Just
shot
going
backs
aggro
away.
randomly at like
Here for the moment, the pit now
the
gonna be
10-second
coming
mark
through
in
Munchkin.
reaction to losing B.
Just playing around with the
Also
timing,
like
some
this as
pressure
well from
being
Munchkin,
applied
who's
towards
been doing
that
this a little
C
bit more, where it's
Doesn't
like,
allow for the sheer wall
don't
to get popped.
insta-Viper
I
at the
love this from
beginning,
Munchkin.
just kind of save
Exactly what you're talking about.
onto
Sheer
it
wall
until
doesn't
they
get
take the
popped,
map
and also if
control.
they commit the ults there,
Especially
you're
when
the
a
only
team's
one.
been
So it's 2 ults for 1 potentially. Like if they use the Nightfall,
kind of
there's
5-manning
Showstopper
the
to try
whole
to
time.
Clear that Viper's pit. Really smart stuff.
What's going on? A little bit of a timing there. Jam on the 1 is Art TPing well into the back lines.
Honestly,
Been doing this.
in reaction to him doing a punish over towards
Smoke on to upper.
Rubble.
So many players here from GENG. Poured here into the side. Foxy 9 going to be the first to fall. Ash answering back for 1, but Jinbun able to trade it back.
It's
Going
huge,
to be eliminated now. It's all down to Munchkin in 1v3.
surely.
The triple ult commit. Now the quad ult commit. Looking to work out here for the side of DFM.
Well,
and it does.
a round's a
They put
round.
themselves around
It,
victory, but at what cost?
It came at a
Quite a bit
price,
invested.
but
The round secured all the same.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good nightfall, good showstopper, good working of the map here by DFM. Doing a lot of things that
I mean, the Omen ult was honestly pretty good as well once they realized they were doing a Rob ult punish.
Good entry, finds value with the showstopper. Those tethers are going to lead the way for May. Don't know how I feel about that pit from GN. I don't know if it's really needed at that point. I mean, it is Munchkin.
It's definitely not needed at that point.
Surely in the back of your head, what he did to Paper Rex a couple times last week is probably in there.
Sure.
So I get it. Look, DFM needs whatever rounds they can get, so better safe.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least he's one closer to his pit now.
Oh, Heron. Still down here making sure that he gets a pound of flesh every round over. As Ash just steadily backing away. Thorns at the ready into that A connector. Stay 2 trying to get a pivot play into the B site. And it's going to be hard going here for the side of DFM. Snakebite
They have the options pivot over towards B.
Shifts position.
TPs across, and dude, I'm looking at. Okay, I was looking at Ash for a little bit there, and it was like, hold up.
The absolute read on it.
He wasn't really looking for the bush. Then Foxy9 came and covered him.
IGL on the floor.
Ah, dude, they're getting absolutely wrecked.
Lurked forward, just outside of the spawn.
The only run that's looked kind of good is the 4 ult round.
They call for a pivot to C. This is going to be bad times.
Yep.
I don't know. I think they should just stick to the C default.
Oh, no. Well,
C default into the.
Oh, the timing. Okay.
Oh, hold up.
Gets that one. Jinbong able to find Foxy9 at the same time. Suddenly, a crucial pivot in the action and momentum for DFM.
Did they think they were saving or something as well?
No one's going to come his way. It's getting cut down to size. DFM now with a real chance to go ahead and add a second round victory.
It's a little bit of util there blocking.
You gotta capitalize on this one, boys. So fine with the Visor.
Haunt does not get cleared in time. Now positions known. Oh, Jinbong just getting tapped down here through the corner. Munchkin says, "You go ahead, take my primary. I've got a shorty at the ready." Doesn't find the kill though.
Look at the HPs though.
Ash will go ahead and recover the Vandal. Flash out, nothing spotted. Finds the headshot. Quick little jump peek, knows the location. Jinbong, the time is working against him.
Surely.
And it looks like Ash is very well aware.
Damn, they stole a round, 2v4.
Jinbong will survive, and DFM get themselves a second round win.
I mean, that's just timing. Sometimes
it's bad from
GENG looks pretty good.
Really.
For a lot of this half, this one just slipped through their fingers. I don't know what we're doing having May swing out dry like that towards A. And then Art TPs after, which is really weird to me in the stairs. Like, why not TP first there to try to create the extra angle and then double swing together? Things like little things like that DFM could be doing that they just don't seem to be able to dial up in the heat of the moment. You know, cost them.
Is it going to be costly?
Players,
Probably
still,
not.
Able to get
But
the round win, so, hey,
imagine they get a good half
individual
now.
moments from Jinbong. Get that round over the line.
Operator though now in hands for Texture. No one really pulling over into his sightlines whatsoever, so for now we're going to be safe from that, and GENG can keep it hidden.
You got to be really careful how you're moving towards A rubble. That Prowler doesn't connect, so there's not a ton of info, but there's 2 players over towards B mid right now. Can maybe win another battle there, open up that extra angle, but
they set up Texture over towards C. We got 3A with the 1B at the moment, but as we can see, DFM pretty much from the bat, like straight away from barrier down, wanted to split into B.
Multiplayer clear on that haunt, so they know that it's not just a lone lurker here. As one pushes through the door, Karen now potentially able to scale forward. As Munchkin waiting for a timing, able to find one, swings into the corner, gets himself a second headshot of Jin, going to be taken down. May able to find just the 1 kill. But now is all alone.
The DFM mid rounds. Let's see. Let's see if they ever like do a default or if it's always just a set plan. I haven't really looked into that, but it does feel a little bit like that. Now I think about some of them setups.
Art and I think it was Jinbong over there.
Very well may have. He's 10-3-3 here.
It's like 2022 IGLing. Yeah, I was thinking that from this rank keeper. And I'm trying to work out if it's been like this the whole time or if it's just this round and then a couple earlier.
Never giving DFM an opportunity to isolate him in a fight or catch him in the back. Really good senses.
Is it just a set plan? At the moment, we go 5 past him with no backup plan over towards A in terms of trying to take space or getting sound, having people go aggro.
He splits the difference between two players, and Art catches a nice headshot. Up on the floor. Yep, it's all right.
That is looking like it.
Birthday jitters.
Had too much cake.
And on the entry, going to be taken down, but they're able to trade it back.
Dude, that lineup was scary. I don't think they know about the omen that's CP'd across.
Quickly be turned around.
What they do now, dude, the aim diff is scary.
And now he's just going to be stuck with it. Sees one, but oh, Munchkin sees all. Haunt not getting the tag, but I mean, he's just completely surrounded. No real way to try to isolate here. Does hit a nice shot, but eventually he's going to be overwhelmed.
Yeah, they can pick up the open, give it to Texture if they want.
Collect an 8th round win.
Yeah, again, it looks like it's going to be a good start, but
yeah, another buy rounds. One person has to take the hit, looking like money-wise. I wonder if they just have a set plan again.
Well. Finding really nice angles here at the stairs. Doing a little bit of jiggle, tap, tap, jiggle, tap, tap.
You had a crazy dream that K-Corp actually improved quite a lot in the past week and looked solid versus a team versus Koi. That crazy, right? I mean, it is crazy.
They're trying to rely
Did we... let's chat it.
Yes, there's
Yo, who do they play next week?
GENG's too good.
Because I think you gotta knock it 2 ahead of yourself. They still are playing Harbor on maps.
Coming away with 1. Texture Showstopper able to find Art, but it's a bloody mess here off the rip as 2 players down on both sides. Nightfall still going to be committed. Texture holding a close angle, decides to back away.
No, wait. How did they get out on top from this? Another round with a 5-person commit, by the way. Did they only do pre-plans with barrier down, but then have no pivot option?
Quite a bit of delay.
Not where you wanted that to go.
Dude, I'm just going to hyper-focus in on this now for like all the maps for DFM. It might just be a Lotus thing.
Now Jinbong, because he's all on his lonesome, turns back over to the side. Munchkin is right there at the ready. Strikes, so up can be carried forward. I mean, another one could just be bought as well. And GENG looking so damn dominant here on their map pick of Lotus.
Yeah,
honestly,
you're
yeah. Oh, Jet Space are kind of nice.
Really
though.
Understand the tempo of this game. How many kills they've gotten through the smokes is because they've just done their homework. They know.
Might be tempted to say Gentlemates have that.
And when they can punish it.
It'd be a good game.
This opening fight, I mean, Jinbong's lucky to get that kill after getting seized. Showstopper.
Yeah, he doesn't want to lose.
Response as well from Texture, just falling back under the covering fire of his teammates. I mean, it's one thing that's really impressive about these GENG players is nobody's really going for hero plays. They're blowing DFM out of the water, but they're still playing to their protocols.
Oh no, they're gonna go super aggro. I wanted another round because this is actually looking like they were gonna give them themselves some options. Nade Tether with the fade eye. See, Nade Tether close, you fade eye deep, and then you omen flash off the fade eye. And then if you're met with less resistance, I imagine you omen flash double satchel.
Poorly off, is still in a decent position health-wise. His Texture almost getting timing again. This time is able to back away to safety.
He's so far forward here. Trying to pop the wall. Does so. He's on the other side of it. He's stuck in the razor vines.
Completely pinned in. The Prowler about to give it away, and Foxy plays off the back of it beautifully. Allowing it to distract. Drifts forward. May taken down. It's now 4v3. Solid entry into the B site. Plant getting ready to come through. Gen going to be left on a bit of a lurk here to try and see if he can intercept anybody pinching forward through that connector. Seems like, though, GENG may be decently aware of this.
Oh, they're so slow. They're coming from so many different
Munchkin's
angles.
about to be screwed. Yep, there it is.
Yep.
Well, they know. The push out, looking to steady the aim. Ash is going to be sending out that Nightfall connects on to just the one player. Sakame will be taken low, and Karan hits a hell of a transfer.
What?
The 1-2 to lock in 2 rounds for the side of DFM. Nothing more to be gained here on this attack side.
That is
potentially
incredibly fast.
Well out in front.
Yeah, another round where DFM does a pretty good job spreading the map a little bit, finding that flank angle with GN. I mean, but you're just sacrificing May to try to figure out what's going on. I mean, May's plan there is to go on the other side of the wall and see if he can catch him
so
off guard.
fast, dude.
You know, with the Razor Vines and with the Fade Util, even without the Razor Vines, they've still got the Fade Util to kind of identify if you are
Shame is a
actually
better
over there or
round.
not.
It's almost as if it's
Gives up
actually
his
spread
life
around
for
the map.
free.
They have more
Art's able
options
to find
on
a big
attack
kill, get
here.
to the post plant, but
Dude, some of these rounds are
there,
some of these rounds
just
they just got
lights out
aimed
situations
at, right?
like that.
For sure.
It's kind of funny.
But there's a lot of these rounds,
feel like
and I
sometimes
think it might have
haven't been
been
talking about Karan a lot this year,
happening
even though he's been playing
a
out
good
of his mind.
amount
He's
on
still
this map for
one of the
DFM with
best
how
we have
Gen G
here
were
in
over-rotating,
Pacific, and moments like that,
where
he's just
DFM don't give
unbelievably
them,
talented. And it's the gunplay.
they don't
and
give
it's
themselves much
his
of
game
a
senses and
backup plan.
Such a tremendous pickup for Gen G, and yeah,
Looking
look
like
really solid, of course. I mean, you kind of expected this coming in. I think it was 13-6
what
on
year
this map when they
K-Corp
played
is
in
this?
kickoff, and
2024?
it may even be worse this
Was
time.
that the Magnum IGL one? Looking a little bit like that.
Gen G. Pole position
Where they have
go
a set
ahead,
plan and they
swiftly take us into
never
a second map.
cancel or they never have a backup
It's
plan.
worth noting, this is Gen G's map pick. DFM, they
That is
elected for
24
fracture,
K-Corp? Yeah, it's looking a little like that on the attack side.
especially on
That's
the
not a good
attacking
thing.
side. You'd like to be seeing a lot more impact because some of these rounds.
Pistol
weren't that
round
close.
win
Nope.
was 72% in kickoff. Now it's 22%.
One of the rounds that DFM won was off the back of just a timing
that's-
play. I mean, that was...
Sure.
They were outplayed in that round. It was a 4v2. So it is... I mean, it is difficult for DFM, and they still
pretty
just
devastating.
really don't seem to have much comfort
To be
on this
honest.
map with this comp. I didn't see a lot of util that was really connecting for them.
22% for pistols is...
Kind of identify positions and set up executes, set up May. A lot of that seemed to be absent.
Double face in the main here. Kame going to be taken down. Jin not really even given the opportunity to try to swing
OG
that
Nobby,
angle.
thank you so much with the Prime. Appreciate the
Decent
Prime
damage
usage.
across
Thank you for
onto
that.
Foxy 9, but still breathing, still can have impact. Means that Gen G out to that early advantage here in the second pistol.
What the?
Trying to clear
Smoke
clear
almond
B main, and they
flash.
do, but they gave up a ton of space to do
Yeah,
that.
they gave
committed
up
3
a
players
lot
to
of
it,
util
so
as well, and they lost the
Gen G
almond flash for this.
quick to take advantage, start pushing the pace towards A. May and Art sliding in, trying to set up a bit of a defense.
Oh my God, I was
Oh,
going to
no.
say, he gets good damage. He puts Munchkin below half, but Munchkin just answers right back with a headshot. Art now, for timing, able to find the first. Plant cannot be interrupted, but he does fall down the 20 HP for himself. Ash trying to scale forward, finds him on the jiggle, the drop down.
Damn,
it's just a
dude.
bloodbath.
Oh, that percentage just gone down to like,
Dead
what,
upon
20?
arrival.
20 now?
Gen G winning
Maybe
out a
even
second
lower. We
pistol,
haven't had
but
that
now
many
we're 2
pistols.
rounds away from closing out this map.
Yeah, I mean, just
God, that
sometimes
pistol
it comes
record,
down to
man.
things like crosshair placement. Munchkin there, winning that early battle. May lets some shots ring out, gets some damage, and Munchkin punishes him for it. Still very clean, very efficient from Gen G.
Well,
And
how long has the VOD
it
been
is
so far?
dire
26
for
minutes?
DFM.
Oh.
Certainly feeling like GG go next.
17,
For
7,
sure,
6 here
GG
for
go
Munchkin.
next.
Something 4th of July joke. Anyway,
Oh no, a little
shells
spam on
forward
this as well.
into the corner.
And the head double stack
Yeah,
there.
no one really going to get caught by that one. The Kame does take a bit of damage. Some of it decay, though. DFM scrambling, getting clustered together. It's going to be a 4-man death ball here on the B site.
We
Gen
told
G
you,
still
6-man
steadily
rosters
making their way
work
closer
well.
to the A site, though.
But this isn't how people intend a 6-person roster. This is more just they're trying to find their 5.
Some opportunity, but Art's
That's it.
position is going to get identified. This is the one I was looking at. to
This
maybe do
isn't a
damage.
6-person roster. This
He's
is
been noted by
we're
the
trying to
power.
find our 5.
Tries to send out the paranoia, but it's early. A little bit of damage to Munchkin there. Kame as well, but it's... Well, I mean, they're
shut
going to
up.
be in position to maybe do something here for DFM. They've got the read.
Couple players spotted, but Gen G just going to play it out a little bit safer. Art finding he's going to get taken down. Munchkin coming away with that. Jinbung able to answer back a kill. Grabs up a weapon. Guardian now in hand to try to deal some additional damage, and any kills that they find are going to be, it's going to be, you know, decent damage inflicted to the economy.
Oops.
It's just, can you get there? Cover going out. Just trying to wait this out as long as possible.
Swing onto the corners. Guardian immediately on the floor. May last one. Doesn't last much
Yeah,
longer.
very
Ash
nice.
goes ahead, picks up 2.
You had a 6-man roster, 1 Masters.
Up to map point.
I mean,
the bonus conversion brings
if we're
Lotus
being,
to an end.
this is the
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, you gotta love
It's
how
the same
just
as all the
efficient
other
Gen G is.
Masters where people had a 6-man
so
and they won.
good at playing
But
off
yeah,
of
no
each
one
other,
called it a
using
6-man
these
roster.
Viper smokes to wait out
Copenhagen
DFM,
as well,
make them
similar thing.
impatient, and then catch
Everything
them when
from
the smoke's go
franchising
down.
onwards,
So did a
teams
lot
had
on
a
this
6-man.
map. So a lot of credit has to go to the controllers here for Gen G. Doing a really nice job. Our Karin and
Just the
Munchkin
same thing.
playing off of their utility and really catching DFM in awkward positions. Try to contest that util. Well, goodbye, Art.
There's nobody else in
Zen had
close.
carry, that's true.
Trying to complete the crunch
Best in
so
roster.
far. Left alone, ends up dying. Sees tries to go ahead and hold Kauron in position here for the moment, but the Viper all up, no vision.
6-man roster has replaced delayed observing in the listed taboo subjects. That's very true.
May similarly tagged up, wall bang through the box, puts him down to 34.
Well, and you've got door control.
Problem
here as
with the
Gen G,
delayed observings, we
and
just don't have the
there's no util
technology
to
yet.
speak of. Okay, well, that
At least in
helps.
this game.
It does. Gent continuing.
Okay, let's write the
Find
10.
Solid impact
You got 10
here for the
chances.
team. It's Gen G now kind of scratching their heads. I mean, Munchkin, he's a world away. Completely isolated from the rest of the squad. He's got to slide forward here and try to bait some rotations across. The rest of Gen G try to stay quiet. The Prowler, however,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
giving it away a little
try
bit.
and stay quiet as they send a Prowler out.
This is good work from DFM at the very least to not completely capitulate to that info that
I really don't like how they play this map.
and they might have found the right timing. It looks like they're reading this pretty well. That Munchkin was going to have that open space and that they were going to be able to rotate in to capitalize on it, or at least try to. Well, the Boombot's going to make that position known.
Okay.
Gotta get that
Good
plant
news
down
is
soon,
though, with the FM, the Gen G have to go for a safe plant.
Ash to get the interrupt, but it's only going to be minor tags. Nightfall now going to be sent out. Full backpedal. DFM able to escape it. No one going to get caught. Audio available here for all. Ash is trying to keep
Oh, it's
their
so much
attention
damage,
tied
man.
over towards the plant spot,
People
but
probably
yeah,
don't do this enough with
shots into
Guardian.
the corner. Everyone getting absolutely destroyed by Munchkin.
Like, look at the chip damage right now.
Time is just not going to be on their side here anymore. May able to break through for one. Foxy texture, however, the other two, and that'll be the finisher. Foxy
Ooh,
9
this is a fast
coming away
one,
with
chat.
another 2K
30
to
minutes.
close things out.
30 minutes map.
13-2, Gen G showing up looking dominant.
A nice return to the stage for Foxy 9. Looked really solid on the Vice, especially on that defender side.
Yeah,
Did
it's like
everything you could ask him to do.
a lot of good stuff from Gen G, a
had some
lot of
good
worrying
flanks.
stuff.
Munchkin is an absolute terror on Viper as usual.
worrying
So
stuff for,
hard to read where
DFM.
he's gonna be. Yeah, he's pretty good.
You know, the next closest person was Karon with
Dude, that
2.
pistol record has me worried the
So,
most. What the
pretty
hell's
good
going
game
on
for
here?
Munchkin, but also for Foxy 9. Welcome back to the stage.
Yeah.
Foxy looking very, very solid here on Lotus with that Vice sideshow in shambles. But similarly, DFM, not the look we want to be seeing. And that fracture that is now very close. It needs to be something else. It
Losing
needs to be
Abyss, yeah, that did reckon a lot about.
well-prepped map.
And we have
Yeah,
no
they
idea
like
what to
that map.
expect from DFM. We haven't seen Fracture since 2023 from them, so
Oh boy.
good luck. I have no idea. I mean, to be fair, Gen G, it has been a weaker map for them. That is a map that you can pick to try to punish them, but you know what you saw here on Lotus isn't going to inspire any confidence.
Yeah. Needs to be one of these one-sided affairs that you're able to just shrug off, focus on your game plan, focus on your map pick, to then get the team rallied back and into this series. All right, now Gen G, I mean,
Okay,
pretty
chat,
much everybody
pretty fast
firing
one.
on all cylinders. No one going negative.
Zen
Protection, the closest one, I
with the
suppose,
tier
was
1.
still
Thank you for the
+1
3
there,
months.
and the
Appreciate
impact
you doing that,
certainly was
mate.
palpable, but that is going to be
Thank
the
you for
first
the
round
tier 1.
done and dusted
That was the
here
spam
for our
smash. We'll be back in a
opening
little
series
bit.
of
Let's hope
the
for
day.
a
So we'll get ready to pass things back over to the
close
analysts
map.
to break down all of the action from Lotus.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yep, really quick start to the first series of today on Lotus. Gen G taking away 13-2 on their map pick of Lotus here. And Foxy 9, you know, he's being slotted back in. We're talking a bit about their roster. I can see why they put him back in.
Yeah, I mean, a comfortable looking welcome back for Foxy 9, but how much was he tested in this game? How much of that is a fair A fair balance? I'm not sure. In my mind, this is kind of...
just say he played well. Like, what's wrong with you?
He played well, but like, I'm not blown away. I mean, he did his job. I thought he did good. I thought he did good. But I mean, I don't like chopping and changing players like this. Anyway, but I do think very dominant from GENG. That's one thing we can say. Nobody can disagree with that, I would say, at a 32 scoreline.
Hey, I'm pretty down with the kids. So, like, as far as meme goes, like, you got the surprise Pikachu face. This is like the surprise penguin face. You left Lotus in the veto against GENG and got 13-2'd. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard if you run a 6-map pool, you don't ban Lotus. Like, it's their best map. It's GENG's best map, and they showed it.
They did the same thing to them in kickoff.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, same thing happened again. So, I don't know. Fracture's going to have to be something special, unfortunately.
It definitely does. And here you can just see the performance on both sides. And what are you oh-my-godding about? All right,
Munchkin is so good, it's actually unreal. He's IGLing, he's carrying, he's top 3 in ADR in Pacific right now. 6 first kills. Like,
what can't he do?
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, Viper is kind of an agent that a lot of players struggle to play. It's kind of like a weird, you know, it's usually the flex player, it's kind of like a weird one. Munchkin's Viper is unreal, like positionally, the way he plays around the wall. I think as well, the fact that he's the IGL and he can call the wall up, wall down cycles, and you can play a lot of traps and positionally have a lot of setups around that is super important. It's super underrated part of playing Viper, and I thought Foxy9 was phenomenal. So yeah, I honestly, I mean, look, it's GENG on Lotus. Yeah. Just good. It's always good.
What were some of the key moments that you guys wanted to highlight from this match? And it was a very quick one.
I mean, my key moments are all on the defensive side. Munchkin and Foxy9. When you're Vice in your Viper, multi-frag like this and lock down sites and play so well within the whole team structure, it's just phenomenal to watch. I think that Foxy9, I don't know if we've seen him play Vice yet. He was playing Killjoy last stage, but it seems like GENG is getting very comfortable with mixing the Vice in. This was a great moment. He was so aware of exactly what May was doing there. Like, it wasn't even a wall bait. It just like waits for the Prowler, played within the system. And I think Foxy, he looked like he was in a really good mood, to be honest. So that was very promising.
Yeah, Foxy looked like, we were remarking on how happy he looked to be back on the stage, but something very curious, even last week on the stage when he wasn't playing, he did do the walkout with them and he looked delighted. So I wonder what's up, what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, something's working. I can't fault it, you know, if swapping them in and out is going to keep everyone in a better mood, then keep doing it.
If I was subbed to the bench, I would not be in a good mood. I don't know what's going on. Like, this is unreal coaching staff. There must be some kind of sports psychologist or something. The mythical sports psychologist everyone keeps talking about.
No, I think with your replays as well, it shows both Foxy and Munchkin are kind of the wing players, right? When they're on that Viper and the Vice, they're kind of generally they're either anchoring that side together or they're on opposite sides. When you can trust them to anchor sides like they did in that defensive half, the game is so easy. But the thing I mostly wanted to talk about from my perspective was how DFM did manage to win their 2 rounds, because I think it also kind of highlights their problems in a way.
Okay.
So we see the first round, they have to commit so much to it. Fatal, Razel, I think there's an Omen going off in the back as well.
Oh yeah,
they
have TP this spawn.
They dump everything into this round to get it across the line, and they just about managed to do it. So fair play, you know, that's what the ultimates are there for at the end of the day. Look at this. We see Viper as well. Massive commitment to win the round. And then the second round, they only got this down to a 2v2, as Paperton was saying, because of kind of a timing. It was 4v2. They managed to win it back, and then they have to invest the Steel Garden. If the only round you're able to win are with your ultimates, something is wrong with your macro.
For sure.
The ults are there for that, but you can't solely rely on them or you're never going to be able to win games.
And not only that, like, you need to try to win those rounds cleanly, because you have this balance of the ultimate economy and the financial economy, and if it's taking everything out of both to be able to just come away with these rounds, you're not going to be very consistent stringing those rounds together. You're going to get financially reset. You're not going to have as many resources or as many tools to be able to make it through the rest of the game. You need to get a lot out of a little a lot of the time.
Now, you were blazing Munchkin a little bit there, and he's our MVP of the map.
No surprise.
He's insane. I knew Munchkin was good, and especially GENG's run like last year, you know, like I copied every game. I was like glued to watching Munchkin play KO. I'm like, what's the KO line? The KO lineup today? that I'm stealing and putting in my team, but like as an individual player so far, he's been phenomenal in stage 2. Like he really is doing it all. He's IGLing, he's getting the first kills, which you would usually expect your duelist to do, but Texture is actually not really trading very favorably in the opening parts of the round, and he didn't even in that game against DFM just then. It's Munchkin who's just, and he doesn't even have any like escape tools. He's not playing a duelist. He's just shooting people in the face.
He just stood there.
He's just standing there. He's a man with a gun. He's saying, I'm Munchkin, come at me, bro.
Yeah.
You know, actually, to that point, though, Munchkin, great performance, but you were talking about Texture, and Texture not getting those first kills, and Texture's performance, you know, not looking very Texture-like. Do you think this is going to be a problem, or it's okay because they, you know,
well, that's the thing. Like,
13-2 them anyway.
I feel like he's playing his B game, and he's still like one of the better players in the league. So like, there's more ceiling there. If he figures out like what he's got to change or make some little adjustments, maybe it is playing with a different initiator player as well. He's got to play off a lot of that utility, and maybe the timing is not quite there yet. Then that's going to be even more ceiling to GENG, because even just Texture playing his B game, they're 13-2ing.
Yeah, so. I agree. It's not a big problem when you're coming away with a 13-2 win. It's okay if your personal scoreline isn't quite there, and I think he just has to settle back in. He's playing with different people, different support to kind of help set him up. So it's a little bit.
He's also acing too much.
Yeah,
we need to cut that out.
He's got to stop that right now.
Share the love a little bit. He's sitting back a little bit, and this is the map that he did. But map 2 is going to be Fracture, and DFM picked this map.
Yes. This has been a problem for GENG, though. Yeah. They have lost both of the times that they played this, including in kickoff against RRQ, and then their game that they also played here in stage 1. But DFM has not played this yet. Yeah. And I honestly, this pick summarizes everything that I find wrong with DFM. It's just that there's no consistency. What maps are they good at? What comp and style are they playing? What are the players' roles? I just don't have anything to really grasp onto for DFM. So I want to see what they've prepped here on Fracture, because this is kind of a make or break map for their season, really, and it's a map that they haven't even played. That is just not a decision I think I would ever make, and maybe they just really are embracing that underdog mentality right now.
Yeah, I have to disagree with you a little bit. I like the pick, to be honest. I mean, it's a map where GENG have not looked good. They've looked weak. If you have good prep, you should be able to win this map against them. And, you know, I think they're playing the veto in not a scared way. They're not afraid to take it to their opponents in terms of, instead of going, oh, what are we best at? It's going, what is our opponent the worst at? You know, it's a different look at the veto. I really don't mind it. One thing I did want to ask is, you mentioned Munchkin's KO. Yeah. With the KO buffs, could you see it on Fracture? It's a Q-Rax footballist special.
Maybe. We'll see what they want to go with. I think that the Teo kind of Breach comp at the moment is just like so unanimous. Like everyone's in agreement. Let's have a look at GENG first, though. I mean, it is Breach and Teo. You got Neon for Texture. He's been playing a lot of Neon lately. And then Foxy9 on Cypher was actually one of his worst agents in kickoff in particular. So we'll see if he can turn that narrative around.
Yeah, and then across on the side of DFM, nothing too crazy here. Breach Teo with the raise.
Right, we get a little Fracture.
Like normal, Advice as that Sentinel. This is about
Neon
as standard as you can get. But we are seeing Gen back on
they play the
which I do like, but
the Vice comp into
really
the Neon comp.
As I would have hoped, but we gotta wait.
Can be a little bit scary.
Well, either way, Fracture has
and they start on attack.
Out of the rotation.
Wonder how aggro GENG gonna get hit.
All the Fracture you can get, guys. We're gonna go back to our casters, Achilleos and Paperthin.
Thank you very much.
What do you exactly like about Chamber?
I love this map.
I do too.
I think it's a great one. I think it's
at the
great
moment,
to watch.
Chamber's a little bit rough because of Teo.
Riot, Mr. John Riot, reconsider.
But I think
something else.
TP ability is pretty broken, to be honest.
Yeah, Sunset's fine.
I think any ability where you can get out and not get
bangers
traded is
That's true.
insane.
I mean, Split's a great map, but
but I also
there you go.
I also think the Outlaw is super busted at the moment.
Just keep my beloved Fracture.
But yeah, the Teo is a nightmare for a Chamber.
Their pick. Sticking with the
I mean, you kind of have to look into the pathing of like drones and stuff.
2-0 pistols thus far. Let's see if that streak
it is a rough one. I thought it was going to be meta before Teo came out. Well, not meta. For the pick rate was going to be high on a couple of maps. And by high I meant like 15%.
Karan got an inkling of that crossing. By the way, this is Art's second game ever on Breach. Something to kind of keep your eyes on. He has not played a lot of this agent, so kind of curious how he's going to be able to pilot this. You know, this meta comp, kind of what you expect out of DFM.
Dude, they're so
What
wrecked.
we've seen is they're
Smokes go down. And they
so
didn't
far.
manage to get through here.
A ton of success.
4 players from GENG.
And okay, let's see how they are with dealing with smokes. They're gonna have to wait for the smokes to go. Guys, don't push through the.
Holding his ground here. Only 10 HP remaining. Ends up getting struck down.
So good.
That's going to be a massive player advantage now for the side of DFM.
There's like a 3-second window where GENG smokes are up, and DFM's one, and it looked like they kind of wanted to push through it.
A headshot. Putting May down to 13. Scaling forward.
Okay, they're on the board with a pistol, and that is something they've struggled to do. So let's see what they can do with a good start.
First pistol of the set.
Yeah, looking really good on this one. Making some good decisions on the timings. A nice play off of Art's flash. When they were trying to break their way through to the A site, and that caught a couple of the GENG players off guard. So they're doing a really nice, patient work around the utility that they have. This is what we need to see more of with them. Use that util to set themselves up for some of these rounds. Let's see if they can continue to use that success to find a win here and maybe push us to a map 3.
What's up, Rosie?
Oh, well, texture. Out wide, just
Donations?
there
And you can still donate.
Continuing the scale forward, continuing to wreak havoc.
You can definitely still donate. I'm pretty sure it's still up. I think it's 24 hours that it's still up for. I'm not entirely sure.
Towards that showstopper.
That's a big find. Get May fired up. Get him firing.
Oh boy.
Definitely feels like a win condition for this team.
Oh
my
God.
God. Oh my God.
Tell you what though, May getting an all early is going to be nice.
Karon trying to come away with something. Ends up going for the higher HP target. Can't make it happen. Now it's down to Foxy9 and see whether or not they can do a little bit of damage. Would just be a ghost left on the floor unless he can find more than 1 kill, but he will not. It's going to be a flawless. It's DFM. 2-0 start here on the attack.
That's as good as you can hope for.
No, it's one of the best starts after a pistol for sure. One away for a Razor. You got 4 ults to choose from.
And then follow up off a good fault line from Art. Need more of that. You know, so far, this has been a real pain point for GENG this year as Fracture. They haven't won on it yet. In fact, going back to last year, they've lost on it like 4 or 5 times in a row. So
okay, let's see the plan. The plan should be around this.
In the map pool. So it's definitely been one of the pain points for this team. Oh, texture.
The only position.
Coming away with it. Opposite just
the only position where he can stand.
Jumps out of the thorns. Will get taken down to
yeah,
75.
Teo.
Comes away with that opening kill.
You two needs to be a little bit better there.
Deny a bonus conversion. Paint shell not going to be finding much there. His relay bolt not connecting on the chin boom.
I like this from GENG though. I'm enjoying how proactive they are. They kind of realize that they need to do something, otherwise they're just going to get Razor'd on. Akno 18 with the tier 1. Thank you so much to the 38 months.
Great timing here on that drone.
Like crazy numbers as well, bro. Thanks so much, Akno. Appreciate you, man.
The DFM is still thinking about this.
Oh, texture. The instant headshot, the slide forward.
Oh my God, so many people to choose from. Dude, that's madness from Ash, no? To see 3 on the minimap, knowing that the stun isn't going to be lasting and just sending it.
2v3. Can he find the angle?
And he knows where they are on the minimap. One's literally on his left.
A necessary fight victory here for him.
Foxy's eye is sleeping as well.
Wide swing. Both players will back away from one another in the end. As May will get struck down. Karon.
Okay, nice to them from Karon.
Sparing their blushes.
Looks a little bit rough for GENG though. I think DFM might have a chance here.
This round was really good with the proactive information and the proactive taking of space from GENG. Yeah, texture there. This time decides instead of pushing out past ditch, he's just going to hold it down up on drop. That's a good kill. DFM able to fight back, try to reclaim some of that space. But again, good timing on the drone from Ash.
The epic gold with the 10 months. Thank you so much as well, dude.
Trying to re-aggress towards A. And
Thank you for that as well, Epic.
From GENG to collapse onto that position. Just work those tight angles. Catch DFM a bit off guard. But now you've got a showstopper for May. Things to be considered for GENG.
Yeah, both teams econ-wise
toying with the
in the same position.
Go towards this weak side. Meanwhile, 3 members of GENG all up towards Dish, not having any contact. They're going to get over here quickly.
Yeah, they hear the camera, but they didn't get the camera.
DFM decided to go, but DFM playing very slow today.
They at least know where the Cypher is now.
Trying to be diligent. It didn't work great on Lotus.
There's map control here. I think they might have heard something over towards it. Actually, I think they really silently took aim in, to be fair. But either way, clear all the top side.
Seemingly the direction they want to make this attack go on.
We'll go ahead, avoid some of the util, showstopper. Garners respect. It's the blind shot into the corner.
Yeah, they get the good plan. We definitely got to keep an eye on Jingbun because he's lurking all the way over towards B, and there's a small window where the camera can see him. But
over that B side, Cam is there. If the toggle comes through from
yeah, Foxy just saw him. Yeah, so they're gonna speed up.
So Cam gets cleared out. Flashing down into lower, Texture sliding forward. May
oh my god, the flash slide. Dude, Texture's going crazy.
Texture Current both eliminated. Plant here into the default corner. Arc needing to win this one, needing to try to buy some time. It's going to be fault lined away. Device now out into the open, and the defuse is just going to be stuck.
Yeah, that's
still
nicely
some
handled in the
damage
end.
dealt here as Jinbun going to try to find this final elimination.
Dude, Texture just absolutely sent it. Munchkin one flash, Texture sent it.
GENG tied up 2-2, but they end up losing damn near everyone.
Yeah, you just gotta love the play calling and the confidence from Munchkin here, where they get the confirmation off of that camera that Jinbun is going to be flanking, and that's their go signal. That's when they say, all right, let's dial it up, let's dial it in.
Yeah, the check of the camera is big.
3 huge kills for Texture on the entry, setting him up beautifully, and Jinbun too little, too late there. Took quite a while, had so much room to clear. Now Texture's got an op here.
That's a fast turn. Oh, the drones absolutely saved him.
It's a bit of damage going for the reposition, the cage.
Ah, he gets traded here, right?
Falling, looks for the shot.
No way.
Going to be taken down now, the overdrive in play. Pushing the tower, May going to be noted there. As Texture wants to pursue in for the kill, but May is able to shut him down. The site now going to be opened up, the Armageddon rolling through, but everyone able to avoid this. Just a little bit too late for Mash. Karen in the smoke as the dust settles.
It's a couple of low HPs.
Plant to the corner.
Oh god, you got Brimont. Oh no, man, Karen's just consistently wrecking everyone.
Tiny little tick of damage. They have salvos, they have a molly. They could try to buy some space here for themselves.
Dude, look at him go.
Karan will just go ahead, come alive.
It's rough for DFM. I thought they owned it when I saw the two on site not play together.
Timing to get this crunch onto the top of tower, but just GENG there so patient in the post plant. Karan working his way through that smoke over towards Canteen really nicely.
His Thanos, right?
Weak players. They
he just, every round that is like slightly close, you get a bit of like glimmer of hope. Karen just shuts it down.
That's so
look at that second shot, man.
Need the headshot. May was super weak there, but still finds 3 in the round. And things.
I think you said this every time, but you're genuinely shocked at how good Karen is for a comp player pickup. You're not wrong.
In full armor. And then it's rifles abound for the rest of them. But
the thing is as well, he's like a stage player. He's like a stage pressure player.
Some toys to play with.
Like if you look at how he plays on LAN and his stats on LAN, it's normally better than like this period. Like the Masters, performances for him are crazy.
Stopping him from advancing into Sands. Now they start working their way forward, but Karan has refilled the space into main.
Oops.
Setting the spray to be able to take that Akame, so ends up falling with Texture here at rope. Gets the shot, Jinbun now all alone.
I have the spike.
Oh.
Okay,
great time.
A nice shot.
Texture gonna be kicking himself for that one.
He's had a couple of those today.
Jinbun in with a 1v2.
They need this kind of
players
stuff.
Eyes over
I feel like I haven't seen big DFM
Foxy.
clutches really for a long time.
Quickly swing out from drop.
Whereas they used to do it all the time. Like they used to take in the off season, used to take turns just who wants to clutch.
Patience here from GENG.
30 seconds left.
Tap of the spike should be or just making sure.
Well, they know that they're rewarded for sticking around here on
this
side
on
of the map, and Jinbun not able to get out in front of that fault line, gets stunned up. GENG out, stretching the lead 4-2.
That is actually also true. I agree with that.
This time, a good change up from Ash, using that util.
Not that I think it's down to the change.
Second one, just barely able to drag the gun down in time. Great fault line from Munchkin. Good patience. They've got 4 in a row.
What is this name, bro?
DFM, so that's a costly round in a couple different ways, man. Like, you've got a couple ults there that you don't get to use. You're just shut out of the round before it even begins. Oh, hello.
Well, not getting the cam in a deep position.
That's funny.
Said though, DFM not looking to apply pressure.
That can't be much better for GENG though.
Swap across. It's just gonna be
The second they wanted to take the rope, they drone out and clear all of this.
I mean, as DFM, like, you'd love to be
Problem is
these ults in
they
that previous round.
faked tree pressure, right? So there's a good amount of tree pressure over towards there.
Then after this round,
Dexter's just having to
who knows,
guess
in
where
this
it
round to
is.
grab a couple orbs, get the Rolling Thunder and the Orbital Strike available.
Look at this though.
Yeah, I mean, they have been some rounds where they're working the map really nicely. You know, they're using that util against GENG there. Keep texture in the out planted.
I mean, this is gonna be DFM. Okay, never mind. Orb is gonna be given to May, but Orb pickup goes the way of Art. So I was gonna say Rolling Thunder's online. They have a Steel Guard to try to equalize the weapon count.
Yeah.
And they have an Armageddon. There is a lot at stake here.
You would hope that there's a real chance that they can get this done even with just Sheriffs.
They got ults. Reckon they use the ults into this round? You got to be tempting. Like, your after plan util must be so good that they win this, right?
It's a headshot. Caron gonna be taken down.
Oh boy.
Gets flushed out.
Let's see, what do they still got? Molly just went out.
Yes, there's the Steel Garden now. Gonna be sent forward. Foxy9.
Molly's on the spike now.
Drop, finding one. Jinbun gonna be taking down the Rolling Thunder now, coming through to further delay.
Yeah,
the
nice.
there on top. The time is gone. DFM, a war of attrition that they will win. They managed to go ahead.
Okay, this is a nice round. This is what a lot of teams have been doing at the moment. Just have so much off the plant util. They just send the raise in with the plant and then just spam util. Definitely works a little bit better when you got the extra ults as well.
And we're very slow about it and didn't really receive much contact, didn't react to it, instead just committed. Said we'll play for retake, but against those ults,
The Jest, I think they're just going for like
pretty impressive kills
the
from the side
firepower.
of GENG. DFM viewing
I
party.
didn't think Foxy
Has to like what they
played
see.
bad enough to
Still got
warrant
and
getting
ult to work with, and
changed.
you're one away from two others.
But it does seem to happen a
should be
lot
a really
from
good
teams he's in, and I don't know if he's
series of rounds
unlucky
for DFM,
or I
you would
don't know if
think.
it's
Again,
just
that
like
ult cycling going to be really,
his
really crucial
attitude
here if they're
or
going to
what.
string some together.
But he's a
Opshot doesn't
grinder,
connect.
so
Sure, he's stuck.
I think that's what
Relay
people
Bolt trying
want.
to buy himself some space. Does hit on a one.
Nice shot.
Oh, what a shot there. The readjustment. Catching May as he is blast packing out into the open.
Trobra said he's a very nice guy.
Coming now, just having to get a slow drift back. Art going to be taken down.
And he kind of sounds great.
Foxy,
Like, he definitely
one,
makes
then
mistakes, and I
traded
still
out.
think he has a lot to learn,
Punch comes
but
in. Caron is just snappy as all hell.
Enemy remaining.
Slow creep in with Texture spotting out the foot before he can get the chest shot. And suddenly, it's just GN left alive.
Sure looks very challenging for GN.
Yeah, how would you rate his comfortability in this round? I think it's probably not good.
Yeah, the comfortability here is very low, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, GENG's congestion here, they can do a good job.
that one
Keeping that
Reddit
they do.
person's
Well,
just getting
tries to go for
wrecked
the
ever
orb,
since.
just gets the one in
I've
debt,
never
so
heard it
orbital
as
will
much
be
since that
available for the next round,
post came out.
GENG reestablishing that lead here, up by 2 once more.
And this is, even though you're able to win the previous round, this is where it hurts that you're chewing through ult cycles, where you might be able to get them
Have
to
I
go one
watched
more
the
time,
T1 documentary?
not
What a
getting
As
orbs
in,
well enough
is
here
this a documentary
DFM
for
either.
them
You're on
at
the attacker side, you
Masters?
have cryo on a lot of these orbs, and you're not using them to get to that orbital strike. You're not using them to get to the ults that you could quicker, to have more impact maybe a little bit sooner, to sort of keep yourself
It's
ahead
2 hours
in
long?
that game.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you're playing very reactively
Wait, what?
against what GENG is doing. And
Is it
sure,
good?
sometimes that's going to work,
Yeah,
but a
you'd
lot of
hope
times
it's
it's
good
not.
after 2 hours.
and there just doesn't seem to be
That's
a
really long,
cohesive game
dude.
plan for DFM.
I was gonna say I'll watch it on the treadmill, but that's
Maximizing
a
all the
lot of
opportunities that they have
that's
in
a
front of
lot
them.
of cardio, man.
And
It's too much
That's what's
cardio.
concerning. Like, this is a team that I saw in the offseason that was being very proactive on the map. They were playing off of each other well. They had good protocols.
It's direct.
But it seems to just kind of be crumbling piece by piece as this year rolls on.
Dude, I might have to break it
Sure,
up,
some
man.
fans
I might
there
have to break it up
for
into.
DFM, and hopefully they can
different-
give them something to cheer about.
Let's think. I go gym
GENG
3 times
Has
next
been in
week.
cruise control.
Tuesday,
for
wait,
most
Tuesday,
of this
Wednesday,
series.
Thursday.
And a few
We
glimmers
do-
of hope for DFM.
Yeah, we could do some.
Hasn't gone
Sure.
the best, and this one has
That's
to be
my.
good.
That's what I watch.
Gotta
How
get it
about
done
that
here.
for the treadmill?
Got the Armageddon.
I can't
you
believe
got
it's
the
2
showstopper, you got the
hours
orbital
long,
strike.
bro. It's kind of sick though that they're doing that.
Guardian for GN.
Wait, T1's actually a sick orc
Good
for playing.
opportunity.
2 hours.
We're going to try to contest B ramp. Oh my god.
Fast out here is Texture. Slides down over towards Seward. Boombot damage going to be eaten. The Showstopper gets drawn out, and Karen's going to be dealt with. Kami able to find one. Foxy.
Oh, this is going to be nice. Munchkin's so...
likely dead, but no!
Wait.
May looks away. I thought he was going to be able to catch a glimpse before that smoke could bloom, but it's going to be Munchkin instead who comes away with it. Now Texture catching him by surprise. Slides down.
Oh god, Texture's just killing everyone as well, bro. Oops.
Fighting back, finds the first, finds the second. So this round lacking comfortability for both teams.
Texture is consistently getting 2 most rounds right now.
Oh boy.
Are you glad you made that Reddit post yet?
Yeah. You've ruined the English language for a week with just one Reddit post. Well done. Munchkin there, the timing.
3 times treadmill sessions. 40 minutes? Yeah, actually, it might work pretty well. I normally do 5, so we'll do 40.
Till early. I like the way GENG uses that speed of the Neon early to open up that extra angle. And so again, got an Armageddon, got an orbital strike, got to get there to use it. GENG doing a great job of pushing the tempo on this defensive side, turning it into more of an attacker side. They're aggressive.
It's kind of nice that he got hit though, because he already did his smokes.
Oh my god, onto Karon. Gen fighting back for one. Aftershock to go ahead and force position. Eventually they are able to overwhelm, so weapon going to be scooped up.
Dude, did Foxy, dude, I would have loved to watch the Foxy 9 POV there.
Very good post plan.
Is he not okay?
Ultimate's available. Armageddon going to be sent though in advance. As Rolling Thunder comes out from GENG, orbital strike as well. They're to try to stun him up, and Gen able to go ahead and hold his ground, tucked into the corner. Texture is melted down.
Everyone's getting caught, he eats it out.
The flash in hand, but it's going to be Ash coming away with a kill. Coming away with a second. Munchkin now with everything to do.
Had to use the salvos to protect it. Munchkin's got an opportunity.
He does, but it has to basically just be a headshot on this 90-degree pivot. And there you go, the swing out. Another Thrifty going to be locked in.
Dude, I would love to know how Foxy 9 went down.
Yeah, and these are the rounds where they look their best, when they're these kind of fast hit executes where everybody just knows what they're doing, knows what their job is, and does it very well. Coordination is so key for this team. I mean, okay, you lose Made a Karon just outplaying you when he has a stun, but you have weaker weaponry, so it's whatever. I love the decision from Texture there to just try to get ahead of the orbital strike. But there you go. Yep. That one was good. I think if I'm DFM, I'm saying, look.
Okay, now he puts his trip over towards Heaven to give him some freedom on site. They go a little bit aggro, they go top side trips, bottom side crunch.
Texture open space with an operator.
4-6. Dude, if they can get 6-6 there.
Kind of stuff. Ooh, good. Not sure whose flash that was, but I just saved Jinboom.
I think it was his own. He's the only vice.
Has to be his. Has to be his. You're right. That's a good point.
Yep. Chock full of them.
Ooh,
Texture.
goodness.
Whip on the shot.
Oh my goodness, he went back for another with the... Oh my god, look at him go.
Now having to try to just stave him off, and
My
will be able to
goodness,
do
it's
so,
the
but the
craziest
rest
op
of the team is
player.
just getting absolutely mauled to death.
Hey, well, the neon op looks kind of fun though.
So Spike now dropped. Why is it always Jinboom?
Yeah, this is like the 4th round.
I guess it's just, you know, lurking sentinel type deal, but it's just always him as the last man standing.
It kind of do be like that sometimes. Sometimes you're just the
neon op. I mean,
your team gets smothered on
you gotta be a beast. You definitely gotta be a beast. It is
make
probably
something out of nothing. But
who used to use it?
And with all the map control.
Who's that guy on foot that used to use it?
They can just wait.
Was it
They know where he's
2020?
gonna be coming from. Unless he goes all around the woods, he doesn't
Or am I
have enough
thinking
time, so it doesn't
BBL
matter.
Executioner?
He's just gonna have to hold on to the gun.
Q1?
Plenty of money for DFM,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, that's
nothing
it.
he can really do
Just
here.
use it all the time.
Don't want to fork over any more ult orbs, I guess. But it's, yeah, I mean,
Like, he was
GENG
pretty good with it.
reacting so well here. Just
Texture's
coming from
definitely
bunch of
playing it a
different
little
angles
bit
and
crazier than him.
Cutting DFM in half, basically.
Texture got this follow-up kill. Caught him while he's planting his feet
Just
under a
confident
kill.
with the
Give him
stun.
that space, you give him that time, and he's going to punish you.
remaining.
Ooh, Foxy.
Yeah. Scattering to the winds, and Foxy able to collect. So solid rally back here from GENG.
Okay, Texture with the backup all this time.
At the half. Question is it going to be 7-5, 8-4? Let's find out. Overdrive in the back pocket for Texture here.
Was Sentinels at Toronto level yesterday?
Online.
Yeah, it looked really good.
DFM, unfortunately, the ult cycle is just a world away.
Yep.
Especially in the rate. The rate probably had his best of 3 in Sentinels. From what I can remember.
Gonna use that opportunity.
Like he was individually just winning.
Setting up for a 4-man hit.
So many
Foxy has
rounds.
trips there. So not much contact to be found. So DFM press forward.
Bang. I mean, Bang's been good ever since he's been on the middle seat.
Finds one.
The confidence buff is actually real there.
Armageddon going to be sent out, making sure they cannot recover this. Foxy will linger on the angle before just going ahead, cutting back. Dodging out the friendly fire. Caron finding May through the
straight up spam through.
As the wheels are coming off here.
Okay, well, they got to win pistol, but at least they won the first one, so their win rate's a little bit up.
Slow scale forward. Munchkin hearing, shooting, killing. Jinbung going to be taken down, and Akame, last one standing, 21 HP. We'll just go ahead and get zapped to death. 8-4.
Jacob Narrate has always been playing like that, that's for sure.
The good recovery.
We just haven't really seen it yet.
Go on a massive streak. Secure a pretty substantial lead.
Yeah, it's concerning for DFM. There doesn't seem to be much follow-up to taking control of that space, and GENG just so happy to wait for utility to expire and then retake the space themselves and find kills, and just kind of brutalize DFM, to be frank. Very
How are the patch
solid
guarantees
half
so far?
there.
I mean, we lost the
defender side of
Fnatic Vitality one.
No doubt about it.
I don't know what else we guaranteed. There was a lot this
DFM,
week.
but still, the woes continue. They look awfully off balance, and they seem that it seems that they really just don't have a lot of follow through sometimes. It's like if they can't have that good read, or they can't have that good execute,
I guess.
There's no backup plan, and there's no coordination. Like, the amount of times I see May out there on his own, not being set up by utility. I mean, sometimes they do try, and to be fair, there was that one time where he jumped into Karan's face and he had a classic Karan at a rifle and got the kill, but a lot of times he's just dry peeking or trying to use a blast pack to clear an angle, and you know, that's tough to do against GENG. They're too talented, top to bottom.
Is GENG just saving strats, or is Boom just good at this stage? No, Boom is good, man. Boom is really, really good right now. Boom, in Pacific, if there's a team you don't want to play, it's Boom, because
very much being rewarded thus far.
They look scary good, and
well poised.
I guess because they came from Ascension, you're like expected to win, but
can they go 2 for 2 on pistols?
Like, I'm a little bit worried for Paybreaks, and by a little bit I mean I'm really worried for them.
One of the bright points for DFM here in stage 1 has been Akame. He has been very, very good overall. Some damage done to Texture, but everybody in DFM hightailing it back.
Foxy all alone.
They're good to get one though. Spots 2, so they know where 2 are. Stun hits, they take the map control off the info.
Could be stunned off the angle. Has a back pedal, but Jinbung able to go ahead and collect that kill. Karan holding his own as Ash holds down tower. GENG established the lead. 3-2 here in the player count.
Oh,
that causes a distraction.
Yeah, it's big.
Turns his sights away. Munchkin down to 41.
The reposition from Munchkin's really nice, but yeah, Salvo's delay for him as well. Munchkin manages to pick up a ghost.
Tower, but cannot do anything about it. And now Munchkin just waiting, sending.
Very, very nice from Munchkin. The reposition was awesome.
Go ahead and pick up the pistol.
1-1 for the pistols.
Now up
like Achilles said, 3 for 1.
Again, it's just the protocols and the discipline for GENG through the roof today. They look so clean. You know, the Jinbung trying to hold down. The tower gets the first. But then everybody playing off of each other so nicely here for the side of GENG. And of course, Munchkin in a post plant with a breach stun. Not going to mess that up in a 1v1. Has a great opportunity there to close that round out and capitalizes. So now you've got a couple Bulldogs, a couple Guardians, and a Marshall for Foxy 9. It's going to be the buy. No weaponry.
The instant 5-person stack.
Just going to stick with the classics and gamble stack on a beat. And GENG wary of something, being a little bit cautious. Do spot the shoulder of Jinbung. I'm going to ping it out. Are they just going to try to challenge this, or is this all just a bit of a ruse? Try to draw out the rotations. You know that against Eco, they're going to want a 5-stack.
Salvo's out, some noise made, fault line at the ready, there it is, looking for the pinch on the texture, but it's only going to be a tiny amount of damage suffered.
That's a lot of util, so you would expect an instant reaction.
Much damage through. Foxy9 looking forward here.
They might actually get a lot over towards site here. We've got smoke to block them coming out, so they have to go sands.
4 players.
Do they beat their own?
Position.
No, they don't. Okay, well, almost.
And spotting nothing. The turn around here, the crunch coming out from sands, and suddenly kills in favor of DFM. Shall send some Guardian shots through. Foxy with Classic, able to get the right click to finish off May. Spike now going to be picked up. A Bulldog as well, recovered, and Karon covering fire. Allows for Foxy to safely retreat.
It's a shame. It's actually a pretty good go at it. Oh, he's got a freebie.
Oh,
no.
No.
Oh my god, how did it end like this?
Solid damage
Dude,
dealt.
Pulling
off an eco win, but
was no one close enough to hear the door, I guess? I thought they heard the door, but it's looking like Foxy didn't hear the door. No, the idea was nice. It was a good instant rotate when they realized they just spammed with their util. The little trap play. I think it's the first time I've seen them 5-stack as well at the beginning, so it's not like you can anti how they play the ecos. Monk 10 with the prime, thank you so much, bro, appreciate it.
If Texture's not going to commit to the site here as the Neon, that likely isn't the site of the attack, so they're able to do a ton of damage. So it's a Phantom for Texture, Guardian for Foxy9, Stinger for Karon, a couple Sheriffs.
I mean,
yeah, it's not a great bonus.
Foxy maybe can create a little bit of a distract. Does have that
weak site though.
There's a Jinbung repositioning. Catches the glimpse. Foxy now potentially at risk, and yep, will end up dying, as does Texture. So Phantom on the ground, Munchkin able to find one.
He pushes it forwards.
The push forward, the Stinger. Karon gets the drag across and finds that kill. Jinbung knocked out of the park, and now this B site in control in GENG's hands. It's Munchkin. You can find the timing. Oh,
incredible timing. Hey, well, they know where they both fought.
Catches word and finds that punish. A 2v2.
They sent that tap of the spike and then went looking for kills. Playing with DFM's minds.
Yeah, the rotate off.
Dude, they're so sure that they're going A.
Diabolical.
No, this is so frustrating to play against. I mean, GENG's Munchkin is calling a masterclass here. This is a really difficult round to read, no matter who you are.
Oh, I know for sure now.
And they got faked? Oh, they for sure got faked. The tap of the spike into the silence was kind of nice. Just waiting for reaction. DFM had no info on like any of these angles. But they took a gamble. They kind of had to.
Another bonus conversion. Oh.
It's nuts, isn't it? There's non-stop timings at the moment.
Maybe I can make a go of this, but the time is just not really there.
I didn't clear tower.
I mean, Munchkin's just making noise. It's just like, yeah, it just makes it easy for him. Walks it down, walks it in, finds
like
that kill.
Might be another fast one.
11.
Everyone's sitting around 3K.
Every single pistol that GENG won, they were able to convert the bonus on the back of it. All 3 of them. That's devastating. Hard to come back from that. So well played here by GENG in this.
How can we fix DFM? Map pool looks a little rough for them. I think their attack calling is a little bit off. They don't give themselves many options.
Because they've only got 2 players left. They don't know what the heck's going on.
And
so they double back towards A.
Their pistol record is you can't win. You can't win maps with their pistol record at the moment.
And as Akame there,
what are they? 3
to the left, but doesn't choose correctly where to place
9, right? 3 out of 12.
Foxy again on arcade control. It's kind of just been the default here for GENG at the beginning of the rounds. Send Texture and friends over towards.
And they kind of look like they lost the. I haven't seen them like clutch for a while. They used to clutch all the time.
Fish out what's going on.
They used to. Obviously, it was like off season, but.
Look at where these razor vines are for DFM. They are really gambling on this A hit with this Vice util. This could slow GENG down.
Tap of the door.
Oh man, it's really bold.
The door gets opened up, but I mean, GENG, they're just
It tanks so
back.
much damage.
DFM feels like they have the crunch, they have the timing, they have every advantage, but they just absolutely do not.
God, it's hard to watch.
GENG
They're getting so wrecked.
on all cylinders. They're hitting every
GENG
shot.
look good as well, but
It's Gen, a nice one to keep himself alive. Escapes the blast radius of the orbital strike. Spammed out, down to 74 through the box by Ash. Spike now planted, Munchkin going to fall. 3v2. The DFM needs the win. The 2v3, I should say.
I mean, maybe. The smoke's up for a little bit.
Early off the tap. Molly not available, but now the Armageddon just going to be layered in. GENG wanting to give them no opportunity to get back into this round. Texture still on this lurk, on this hunt. There's 3K for GN will come to a conclusion now. 12-4, GENG.
God, it's a real fast one as well, man.
Yeah,
First map was 30 minutes.
So
We're sitting at
today,
32 minutes now.
making really good decisions again. Just toying with DFM's protocols. Right off the rip there, open the door.
Get on the floor.
Everybody do the dinosaur.
Walk the dinosaur.
Is it walk? That's right, it's walk the dinosaur. You're right. I always make that mistake. Look,
I always make the mistake. How many times does he quote in this
GN's
song?
hitting some nice shots today, but in general, GENG's hitting better shots
Um,
and good coordination.
okay,
Just the
8
way
chances.
that they'll be really diligent in post plants, making sure that every angle is covered, making sure that texture can come up for free. You have that man advantage, take full use of it, full advantage of it. And well.
Cage triggered.
Also Foxy
man.
finally able to find the lurk off arcade in the previous round. Now he
It's
switches
so
over
hard
to
to
Dish.
watch, dude.
Immediately finds value there. Things just really
Amaze just in trouble now.
difficult for DFM
Big
today.
nade.
Yeah, they need to sell this position.
Oh.
And so far, no one is checking. May able to find the first
No.
one, but then watches the rest. Can't find the value. And the blink of the eye. It is all just tumbling down. All going to be missing. GN, however.
Dang.
A bit more bite still. Nice headshot. Brings us back to parity, 2v2.
GN has been hitting shots, but it's not enough. See if they can maybe get this one over. I mean, you're going to put GENG onto an eco if you do. GN's so weak right now.
Double push past the sheer wall.
30 seconds left.
Jinbung, a lot of this likely resting on his shoulders, given the HP bar here
I
from
feel like
GN.
Yen's here pretty fast.
A molly available here from Karan. It's GN riding the rope. It's just an
Relatively
easily
unlucky.
delivered kill. Jinbung with every single angle to clear. There's no way to make it happen.
Oof, 13-2 into a 13-4.
Looking
30-minute map into a 34-minute map.
Today, only giving over 6 rounds total in this series, and bringing the first match, I should say, to a relatively swift conclusion.
Yeah, it's even more dominant than the last time they played DFM in kickoff. It was 13-6s on both maps. This time 13-4, 13-2. The woes continue here in stage 1. DFM hasn't been able to find a map win yet. And it has just been rough sledding. Meanwhile, GENG kind of right back into form. Maybe looked a little shaky there. With Suggest coming in, Foxy9's back. Frankly, last week with Suggest looked okay too, so got a lot of depth
playing
here on
against
this
Liquid
GENG
Academy
team.
today? Oh wait, really? Is it best of 1 still, or is it best of 3s now?
You can see the frustration.
Dude, everything's on the weekend, man. It makes sense, but it's so gutting.
The result that they would have been looking for DFM.
Best of 1 still?
A lot more work to be done for GENG, though. A very, very solid performance. DFM will look forward to their next performances, hoping again they can find that groove. We'll wish again an
Jesus,
early
there's
birthday,
an army of them.
Early happy birthday over to May. But for GENG, looking like another day at the office. For Foxy9, looking like he hadn't really skipped a beat. Back on stage for the first time here in stage 1, coming away with a very nice performance, especially in that first map. But now let's go ahead and sit it down on the stage. We got Jen standing by for a winner's interview.
Thank
Thank you, everyone. An absolute dominance exerted by Tiger Nation. Now, speaking of the Tiger, here's Foxy9. Let's talk.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Now, Foxy9, welcome back to the stage. Now, I want to start with what your mindset was coming into today's game and what you can share with us about this change in the lineups. 드디어 다시 무대에서 서게 됐습니다. 먼저 오늘 어떤 마음가짐으로 임했고 또 좀 준비 기간은 어느 정도 있었고 여러 가지 물어보고 싶은 건 있는데 어쨌든 얘기해 줄 수 있는 것들 어떤 것들이 있을까요?
이제 일단 확실히 다시 돌아와가지고 정말 기분이 좋고요. 이제 그리고 총으로만 제가 했었던 플레이들을 줄이고 이번에는 좀 이제 럴킹 타이밍이나 아니면 이제 좀 띵킹 플레이 좀 해봤는데 너무 잘 돼가지고 너무 기분이 좋습니다. 마음가짐은 이제 띵킹 생각을 해보자. 예.
Well, it definitely feels great to be back. And I can't really share much, but honestly, I try to focus on my play around a lot more of lurking plays and selling fakes to the opponents. And honestly, the thing that I focused on the most coming into tonight was using my brain and not focusing so much on my gun plays or my raw mechanics. So yeah, little great mix of both. That's exactly what I wanted to ask you next, because it's not easy watching your teammates play from the backseat. So how did you try to make the most out of this period of time that you had to yourself? 더 여쭤보고 싶은 게 사실 좀 팀원들을 지켜보는 입장이 된다는 건 쉽지 않은 일이잖아요. 그동안 좀 어떤 생각들을 많이 했었고 또 개인적으로는 어떤 노력을 했었는지 자세히 들어보고 싶어요.
이제 마인드를 좀 많이 바꾸려고 노력을 했었죠. 이제 제가 젠지에 들어오고 나서 이제 작년에 우승했던 팀이잖아요. 이제 그러다 보니까 이제 내가 뭔가를 보여줘야 된다라고 생각하면서 킥오프도 그렇게 임했고 이벤트 전도 이제 내가 뭔가를 보여줘야 된다는 생각으로 임했는데 이제 킥오프 끝나고 나서 나라 형이 저한테 이 말해줬어요. 너가 보여주려고 하지 마, 빛나려고 하지 마. 어차피 수많은 매치들을 하다 보면은 언젠가 너가 빛나는 날이 올 거라고.
네네.
이제 그 말을 믿고 이제 뭔가 보여준다기보다는 제가 할 일을 했던 것 같아요. 저는.
그럼 그 브레인을 탑재해준 사람은 누구였을까요?
뭐 브레인데드는 이제 혜성이 형과 솔로 형 그리고 이제 페리 형이 아닌가 그렇게 생각합니다.
네, 착하게 탑재해주신 거죠.
네, 아무래도.
알겠습니다.
장난입니다. 힘드린 건.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot of works in terms of what kind of mindset and mentality that I should have coming into this season, because joining GENG, I mean, they won Masters last year, so I tried so hard to prove myself in the beginning of this year, and I just felt like there was this pressure to really prove that I deserved to be here playing on the stage with them, because they left so much legacy last year, so I was trying to live up to the expectations, but it didn't quite work out, and Texture at one point said, hey, Foxy9, don't try to prove yourself so hard. Don't try to shine on stage. You know what? We're going to be playing many matches, and among these matches, your time will come, and there will be moments that you just naturally shine. So that really hit me in the head, and I just felt like, oh yeah, it's not about how much I can shine, how much I can prove to people. It's about doing what I'm supposed to do for my team and for myself. And today it really showed on the stage because I was doing what the team needed me to do, and that is the mindset that I tried to adapt while I was watching my team play. So I want to talk to you about the Taeho meta as well. A lot of
that was a
people
cool question to answer, to be honest.
With the Taeho meta, playing Sentinels is super tough. So would you agree? What's it like for you playing the Taeho meta? 그러면 이제 태호
we had something similar with Yampi, where he was like searching for plays all the time, especially when it got to like overtime. He would always try and like win the game, where it's just like you need to just let it come to you. It's definitely like a thing that happens with like younger players. Like they want to do something flashy every round, or like have impact every round. Sometimes impact is just info. Durkee used to be like this.
좀 힘들죠.
힘들어요?
바이스인데.
알겠습니다.
Like 2021 darker.
Yeah, 100% agree. It's super tough to be that sentinel role in this Taeho meta, but honestly, because whenever I place my traps, they just get broken down and it's negated, disrespected by Taeho utils. But I also think that Cypher's value really shows with this cage, the Cypher cage instead of the traps. So you know what? You can Taeho all you want, but I will be putting my cages and trap you guys right inside. But as for Vice, I don't know. It's super tough, man. Taeho meta definitely tough for the Sentinels. Now, last question. Next up is Global Esports expectations. 다음 상대 G거든요. 어떤
They got kind of a
경기
nice
예상하시나요?
run.
혹시 그 전에 한마디만 해도 될까요?
네. 아
이제
잠깐만.
DFM 아닙니다. 괜찮습니다. 이제 제가 DFM을 상대했잖아요. 이제 모르시는 분들 많을 텐데 DFM에 제 고등학교 동창이 2명이 있습니다.
네.
그 2명이 이제 진붕이랑 아카메인데
헐.
이제 정말 수고 많았고
Then they faced the RRQ.
강해져서 돌아와라 이 한마디를 해주고 싶었습니다. 네.
알겠습니다. I just wanted to say quickly a few things. Not a lot of people know, but you know, I played my friends from high school. They're Akame and Jinbung. We went to the same high school together, and
Wait,
I would
what?
like to
All
say,
three
hey,
of them?
GG's, and I hope you guys come back stronger. Now, expectations for GE. GE전 가고는요.
Wait, is that
거기는
not
동창이
crazy?
없잖아요.
파이팅해서 평소대로 열심히 해서 이겨보겠습니다.
네.
감사합니다. 젠지빈 화이팅! 감사합니다.
So I'll keep up the good work and try our best to deliver and pick up that win. Now, Genji fighting, and thank you very much. That was from Foxy9. Great match. Good luck next week, Foxy. Thank you very much. And now we have Genji and DFM fan meet and greet downstairs in the lobby, so make sure you join them.
The stacked high
저희
school.
DFM과 젠지의 팬미팅이
kind of wild.
아래층에서 준비되어 있다고 하니까요. 동창과 함께하는 폭시9 선수의 팬미팅 많이 기대해 주시고요. 저희는 여기서 인사드리도록 하겠습니다.
오늘 와주셔서 감사합니다.
Dude, this was a cool interview though. Cool. The question and the answer about like just playing your role is honestly, I feel like most
Genji
18, 19-year-old players
closer to
like that
playoffs in
forecast
this
to
2-0
happen.
victory against DFM. And what I really liked in the interview is the growth that Foxy9 has shown just by not playing for 2 or 3 weeks here for stage 1. And there's
Okay, chat. I'll be back in a little bit.
Shows how important maturity is in VCT.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big thing you want in your players, right? These oftentimes players are very young as well. You know, they're still
Dude, this
growing.
could be
as people.
2-0, 2-0.
You know, you can
But
see a
Zeta
big
are
difference
looking
in
better and
maturity,
better,
his
so
whole
I'm hoping that they
attitude around
can
being able to play
take him
again.
up and make
So
this
it's
close.
very nice to see. You know, I think there's been some
And
good personal
maybe
growth
what has
for
Zeta been
him. And it did
banning?
show
Because
in
they're
the Zelda. I
gonna
mean,
that
this was a
icebox is
dominant
strong
win
from
for
RRQ.
Yep, sure. I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing with a championship-winning
Trade
core,
that
so
ascent
you got to get
is
with the
strong.
program. You got a great coaching staff.
And
You
they've
got a
been
great
flowing.
game leader. If those are the kind of people
They
that
like
you're
ascent.
not going to listen to, you're going to
Okay.
disregard that. Kind of
RRQ
thing
are
to
picking
focus
ascent
on your own
first match for
individual
sure.
performance and feel like you need to shine. I just wouldn't
Okay,
understand
chat,
that
we'll be back in a
mentality.
bit.
I think that the most special and coachable players, the players that you want on your team, are the players that play for the team, rather than for themselves. And there's been far too many teams that I've seen players that they only care about how good they look in the game. They don't even really care whether they win or lose sometimes. That is a very real mentality. So, yeah, good to see from Foxy9. And you can see GENG, fantastic performance today against DFM.
Yeah, I mean, to your point here, hero plays, you can't really rely on anymore. Maybe for a map, but there's no way you can make it very far in a tournament in that fashion anymore. And we could see here in this really dominant scoreline, yeah, GENG wasn't great on Fracture, but they've gotten a lot of things together. And yeah, we got to give some kudos to GENG. I'm really happy to see them doing better now. Yeah, got extra friends. We got so many friends on the desk now. So, you know, great showing from GENG here. Great showing from Foxy9. The vibes are great. We heard that war cry at the beginning of the top of the show today. You can see why. They knew. GENG knows they needed to win this. They already had one down, one win, but you want to go into playoffs comfortably.
I mean, every game is important in this system, realistically, where it's like you can't afford to drop games that you should be winning. I mean, they did a good job today to just be themselves, stay consistent, and keep moving towards playoffs, because after already losing in that week 1, it is harder for them than some of the other teams right now. So it's nice to see them sort of return to form and that consistency shine through.
Yeah, I think almost kind of reminds me of Kickoff, if I'm honest, where I felt like GENG were just kind of cruising along in their initial couple of games, and then they lost that game to DRX, and I think to the lower bracket, they really started to show some improvement. Again, they've lost early to Boom here. I think that's a little bit of a fire under them. They brought Foxy9 back into the lineup, and I really think that this GENG is looking pretty serious, honestly. They should not be underestimated going forward.
Now, we were asking, you guys were really lamenting a bit about DFM's lack of play style, and kind of, they look a little bit lost compared to where they started at the start of the season, but we did see little small moments here. So there was a really brilliant eco round from DFM on their, with all their ults in hand.
Yeah, they almost won 3 thrifties. They won 2 thrifties. They almost won another one in the second half. You can see here the double satchel up towards top site. May's the one with the bomb on the raise, or the spike rather. He's going to plant top site. And then they have all of this stall util. And this is something that in different metas, in Valorant in particular, compared to traditional attack FPS, you really have to check yourself and think like, how am I going to approach this anti-eco? You cannot take this long to get back into the site. If I'm talking about like old days, if I'm talking about like different metas, or I'm talking about CS, for example, you really take your time, you can wait it out, you can, you know, clear out every little angle. But when you're playing Breach Teo meta, you're playing with Brim, all of these ults in the afterplant, Armageddon's up, Orbital, any of those kind of things, you cannot take this long to be able to come back in for that site retake. They basically just lost the round outright because they just took way too long.
Yeah, it's a nice idea from DFM. It's something that's been around for a while, but it's even stronger, I think, in this Teo Breach meta, where you have so much post-plant util. Now, the one thing I wanted to highlight from this game was texture. For me, you know, we spoke in that after map 1, perhaps he, you know, is he quite finding the form that the others were? He wasn't quite getting, you know, all those entries that we're used to seeing. But I think this game shows that, you know, he's right where he was. You know, it's just a kind of easier game. He doesn't have to do everything, but the shots are still there, the flicks are still there, the pace is still there from him. I think he's still going to be a great player to watch for the rest of the year. So by no means is he down and out.
Oh, no, definitely not. That's the thing. There's just so much more ceiling. I felt like, especially watching him on the op, I felt like I was watching Buzz, and I feel like they've been great on Fracture T1, and Buzz in particular, his opping has been pretty fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I mostly wanted to highlight the first kills here. 1 first kill in that map 1 compared to 6 in map 2.
Yep.
It's just a much more improved performance. He's playing the role, and I think his Neon looks really, really good on this map, to be honest.
It's been one of his more played agents. They're playing it on Haven, they're playing it on Fracture at the moment, maps where you could see them pick other agents, but he really seems to be gravitating towards the Neon specifically. And Texture's one of the duelists we haven't seen play Yoru or Waylay yet, so we'll see if this agent pool is going to get bigger than it is right now.
Yeah, definitely. I like that step up from Texture there, but I don't think he needs to perform in every single map. And this is our match MVP. It's Ash. I think we had like some split votes here for the match MVP. Oh, this is our map MVP. My apologies here. Yeah, but also we were talking about Tejo just being a solid pick for Fracture.
Yeah, it was a good map from Ash, for sure. And I think he understands the Teo well. We see this Teo used so much on this map, and Ash got plenty of value out of it pretty consistently with his util. A very, very solid map 2 from Ash, so, you know, we can't take anything away from him there. There's not much more to say on that.
I think it's going to be a comfortable agent for him. If you go back and look at what he played in GENG Academy, primarily duelist, but actually quite a few games on Teo. So that's going to be a comfortable initiator he can flex onto, and I'm sure he can grow into some of the other roles. I mean, he looked decent on the Fade on Lotus as well. So look, there's more time for him to grow. He's an Academy player coming in. Match MVP though, it's the GOAT. It's Munchkin. He's the best, guys. This guy is the best.
I mean, we had to give it to Munchkin. I mean, his map 1 was phenomenal. Map 2, he didn't have to go as crazy, but, you know, he's still calling, which is an incredibly heavy lifting job.
He's just holding a fault line.
I thought he did great.
If anything, he's being nice that he's not holding his gun out, you know? He's just letting some of the other boys get... You've got to let the other boys frag. Yeah. Like, come on. They got to get some confidence.
It was a confidence game for the other guys. She's like, guys, I'm not actually going to shoot this game. I'm only going to stun. That's all you need.
I got us to 13-2. Like, you guys just clean up the rest. Easy peasy.
Well, match MVP, yes, well-deserved there. You can see our analysts absolutely love Munchkin right now. And there's one timeline left for DFM to make it to playoffs, so all hope is not lost for DFM fans back at home. And we've got another match featuring another Japanese team, Zeta Division. They're going to be facing off against a very new RRQ that's looking refreshed and very strong. So I'm very excited for this next match. We're going to go on a quick break, so guys, don't go too far away.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to VCT Pacific Stage 1, Week 3, where we're going to see a lot of results really matter towards playoffs. We saw GENG win in a 2-0, very dominant fashion against DFM. But now we're going to take a peek into Group Omega. We've got Zeta Division facing RRQ coming up next. But let's look at the overall Group Omega results. Right now, we're looking at the map, the individual map points per team here. Now, how are you guys feeling about Group Omega? Obviously, we don't know exactly who's going to be going to playoffs. Ask us about Group Alpha. Do you feel confident about the top 4 from Group Omega being our top 4 going into playoffs?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure. I think this is a close group where I think really, I think playoffs is still up for grabs for almost any of these teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I think for, like, I'm looking at, you know, Team Secret, Zeta, Nongshim, Talent, like especially Talent with the changes, and even RRQ who have been up and down here and there. And I going into this group, I looked at all of these teams and thought, look, if one of them hits a purple patch of form or there's some inconsistencies from the other one, you could get some very interesting results. I think T1 was a given they're going to go through, but for the rest of the teams, it's kind of up in the air a little bit more.
Well, teams that we thought were up in the air a little bit was RRQ because they changed their IGL. Estrella, who's now somewhere else, and we got Korea, but we got Crazy Guy in on the squad. And the first week he was in, we were a little bit unsure, like, oh, maybe Crazy Guy is not adapting really well. His calling is a bit slow on split. But then last week against Talon, they made Coach Frost eat his words.
Yeah, I mean, I will put my hands up. I was a doubter. I was a skeptic. I was a borderline hater of this change. Especially after that week 1. I didn't see the kind of value Crazy Guy was going to bring. I felt like the IGLing was very slow in week 1, but then it was a transformation across the week 2. I felt like he'd clearly settled into the team, looked a lot more comfortable, and they seem to be really gelling.
Yeah, I mean, the core is still just fantastic. They've got good coaching stuff. It's still RRQ guys. It's just plugging in a slightly different IGL into their system. It's not like Crazy Guy's going to come in as the IGL in this team and define what the team's going to do. He just needs to really kind of perform his role, which is not something we'd usually say about plugging and playing an IGL. Usually you'd say that about a flex player or like, oh, he's still going to be a Sentinel player. But I really do think just play in the system. Just call what the system's meant to do. Don't try to change too much because RRQ was looking pretty good, to be honest. They just need some small tweaks, and especially when the pressure's on, maybe they need a little bit more solid leadership in terms of like foundational experience.
And yeah, so that maybe that was the missing piece. So things are looking on the up and up for RRQ. Zeta Division are their opponents for today, and this is another team where we've been seeing some downs, deep downs in kickoff, but here in stage 1, things are looking a little bit more up. How up are we gonna go? I don't know, but I can see Depth smiling. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think stage 1 has looked good for them. That T1 game, they didn't get it across the line, but they made it close. What are these keyring things that they've got, by the way? I'm too distracted because I want one of these keyrings.
It's the mosh pit. We got Thrash.
Production, I need one ASAP. It's important for the desk.
I think there's a Dizzy as well. I just want the Dizzy to throw at people. But like, peg them in the head.
I do think with the Zeta team, though, as I was trying to say, week 1 looking up, week 2 a much better performance from them. I liked how they looked last week. You know? So I think if you are a fan of Zeta Division, it's time to be a little bit more optimistic. Especially that one guy who sits at the front of the watch parties. I love that guy.
Yeah,
I hope you're there today.
I want him to be my personal hype man. Like, honestly, look, I think at the end of the day, XDL, I think, was kind of an improvement from what we saw in kickoff. I think Ciuta's been a little bit quiet. There's definitely a lot more stealing there mechanically in Tier 2. This guy looked insane, and I think in kickoff you saw moments of it, but here in Split 1, he has not been very impactful. I think Clues has been the most improved for sure. His performance against Secret last week was fantastic. They've stolen a map against T1, so already that's good for their overall like map score, standings, round diff, things like that. They've beaten Secret. Here's a really good test, I think, for Zeta, because RRQ's a pretty decent team right now inside Pacific. They should be a mainstay in the playoffs minimum.
Absolutely, and you know what? I want to see Zeta do better. It's been a while since we've seen them really on the up and up. There was a time when Zeta looked really darn good. We saw them on the international stages. So I think Zeta, this is a long time coming. Def has been through all of it, and here's the checklist. Is this
just 2023 or?
Zeta's win streak's pretty easy. Just do the 3 things here.
So, win.
Yeah. Shoot them. Putting win on the to-do list.
Build the points for texture
IGL.
I can't be that good, mate. You didn't give me any 4Ks.
I've been doing the coaching stuff so wrong right now. Like,
they win.
I never told them to win.
Guys, adjust your
20
goals
points.
here. It's just win the game.
All right.
Now, we look again at Crazy Guy. This is what I wanted to highlight.
Dude, Karen
the
got
difference
13
between
though.
week 1 and week 2. To me, he
had
really
Karen,
stepped up
bro.
in week 2, and he can keep growing on those performances across to week 3 here. So I
Could
think
have
this is
had
a
Karen.
very optimistic path for Crazy Guy.
I just want to say in the past, though, you know, I do want to talk about predictions later, but you know what? I'll bring this up when we talk about predictions. Let's look at clues. Now, Blue's clues here. Last week, great performance. We wanted to see him step up. We were wondering about this guy, and then he showed us why he was here.
I mean, even go back to kickoff, like the majority of Zeta, some of the lowest rated players in the tournament. Clues in particular had very little impact, and I know he was IGLing and things like that. He was mostly playing Flash in it and things like that. Now they moved him across to things like Sova, Info in it to help him kind of inform his IGLing and putting XDL on the Flash in it. And he had a fantastic performance against Secret, so I'm keen to see if he can unlock more of that.
Well, Ascent with RRQ last week was fantastic. I think you guys were marking as probably one of your favorite Ascent
I think this is alright
so
for Zeta.
far. Not just the cons, but how RRQ plays it, but Zeta knows that too.
They got rid of Ascent.
Really good on. This is the draft.
You're gonna have to play
liking
Haven,
this
but
map draft right now. I mean, as a spectator, this is
I think they did good.
I mean, RRQ, they banned Lotus, which is a map they've actually been kind of okay on, kind of decent on. In fact, they just beat Talon on it, so I'm surprised that they won't be playing that. Although, yeah. And then here on Split, you're seeing RRQ, they did lose to Nongshim. We remember the 09 attack side, or maybe we'd rather not remember it. Zeta did steal this map away from T1, so that's, I guess, why they're picking it. But on RRQ's side, guys, they're starting out defense. Their defense against Nongshim was 8-4, and they look fantastic. It's really the attack where things fell apart, so I don't think this is going to be easy or cut and dry for Zeta at all.
Now, here are predictions. Paperthin and I are definitely not the majority here. RRQ, I can fully understand why most of the predictions
Paperfin's
are
predictions, though.
RRQ, which we'll break down
I love how
they
didn't have his percentage here, but I think he's on 42.
In the past, historically,
maybe it's 44 now.
Zeta usually does beat RRQ, so maybe something will be a little bit different today. Let's see, we're going to send it down to the stage and welcome our 2 teams.
Activity. Oh, wait, is this Chemiyuki again? Chemiyuki again. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Chemiyuki, you got no chance of these snitches out here, dude. You got no chance. Chemiyuki, thank you so much for that, bro. Appreciate it. You've set yourself the impossible goal. But you did owe me last week. You did get me just I think just as I was ending the stream, someone said. Chemiyuki, thank you so much for doing that, bro. Appreciate you. Dude, you must be hitting some wild numbers now. Because every time you try sneak in 5, it's not like you're sneaking in 1, man. You go for the 5 every time. You're at 600? That's nuts, bro. Thank you for the support. Chat, I normally don't get to see it. Let's get some Oiler Slug spam going for Chemiyuki. He's always sneaking in the gifted. He's managed to sneak in 600 gifteds. It's the least I've seen out of 600 gifted for sure. Sonia, thank you so much for the 2 gifted as well. Thank you for that. Thank you so much, guys. $163 is a weird number, so you did 2 more. I feel like I always benefit from these things, Sonia. The color coordination, you not liking numbers.
Year by year, week by week, RRQ.
When are we unmodding Sonia? She's not a green slug, dude. That all. The 1.5 is still there, so no matter what, the green slug's there.
Yeah, they have so many fantastic players that are in excellent form right now. They cannot, unfortunately, let this good period slip through their fingers. This is RRQ's time, and even though they're betting a new in-game leader in, there's really no excuses.
They are going to be facing against Zeta Division. Now, 2 weeks ago, if they were going to be facing against Zeta Division, I think it would have been undeniable that RRQ would have been winning this out. But Zeta Division has finally
they're looking better, man. They're giving me hope.
The Zeta Division that we know and love. They're looking better as well.
Yeah, so I didn't predict Zeta Division, but I could see why people would, to be honest. I think this is a growing team. It's a team that's looking stronger and stronger.
VCT China's playing my comp right now? Wait, who?
Opponent for them. So they have to take what, the kind of good stuff that worked against them last week against Team Secret. Now you have to apply it to arguably a tougher opponent. It's a bigger hill to climb, but if they can do this today, Zeta should be well on their way to playoffs.
I'm still not sold.
Gamers?
I feel like they stole a map against a pretty sleepy
Because the
T1
win
coming
percentage.
off Bangkok. Then they take out Secret, who have struggled a lot in Pacific so far this year. This, for me, is Zeta's real first test here in Stage 1 to kind of get a litmus test of everything that they've been working on since kickoff.
So what did you end up predicting for RRQ? Is it just because Zeta
hasn't
shown you what they got yet, or you think RRQ has just got way too much?
I'm not sure about that one.
I think RRQ has got fantastic
I would try it
players
though.
right
If
now,
I was on
and
the
Zeta
team, I
just
would
really
try it for
doesn't. That's what it
prax.
comes down for me.
But I think
the
you
individuals on
you
Zeta
suffer
have been in some rough form since kickoff.
what
They
100
need to
feeds
split
look like
to
on attack
a split
sometimes.
one, rather. They
I think you have to have the
great
Astra.
potential, and I've even followed a lot of these Japanese players. I still follow Challengers Japan and see there's so much fantastic talent there. But in terms of getting the most
What
out
do you think of
these players, they just haven't been
RRQ
able
and
to
Zeta?
unlock
Any
this roster,
favorites? I
despite
mean,
the fact
RRQ
they've
are
had
definitely
4 from an
favorites for
existing
this,
team
but I think
and
Zeta
2 of the
came
old
out
Zeta players come
okay
together. It just still
on
hasn't looked good
the
enough, unfortunately.
I'm right there with you. I
Veto.
think that's why I had to go for RRQ as well.
I think it's like a. I think before coming into this, I would say it was a 65-35, maybe even a 70-30 to RRQ. But after seeing the map pool, I think it's like a 60-40. I would give Zeta 40. I think they did good in the maps.
I think that is a really
So I
good
think they
point
would have
about
lost
their
the set no
ceiling.
matter
I don't
what, in
think
my
they've hit
opinion.
it yet, and Jemkin is so damn good, and so is Cushy, and I think there's so much more to go. But Zeta Division, surely they have not hit their ceiling either.
I don't think so. I do think there was room for them, right?
If they step up in this game today, then I'm going to be
Oh, they
sold.
have an Astra
They will have a
Saint. Oh,
miracle.
okay, then honestly,
Here
it
on
might
Smith to
work.
start things off, I got my eye on Jemkin in particular to play around a lot of this Teo breach utility on the defense.
Bro,
RRQ
same
was
comps.
8-4 last time against Nongshim when they lost, and they will once again start on defense here. So I'm expecting them to start strong.
Yeah, the only real difference I actually see between
Gonna watch EDG today. If this ends early, I'm going to sleep. I'm really tired today. Getting up this morning was so
when
hard.
you're IGLing from breach, you have to be kind of a little bit further away than you would with that
Do you know what?
Teo,
I just woke up yesterday, like super early. That's what wrecked me.
Yeah, I mean,
I woke
it's
up
the
at
difference
like
between
8 AM
coordinating the
yesterday.
plays on the flash in it
And I had to stay
having
up for
first-hand
Americas.
information on the info in it rather than
I
someone
mean, America's
else
finished
relaying it
kind of
to you
early.
and then you making the decision. So that's really what it comes down to in terms of changing up that role and IGLing from
Normally I
different
sleep
positions
until
at the
like
end of the day.
11.
I'm really excited
when
about
it's
this. Like I
like
said,
the
I'm very
EMEA
happy to see
America's
this
Day.
particular map draft come through. I think it's going to be very exciting. Either
I just can't
way,
get back to sleep.
and taking us through this series, we have Achilles
Why was
and
I
a
awake that
man
early? Anyway,
who
dude, that's what I was
always
asking
picks
myself.
Japan.
Don't
It's
have a good
April.
answer for you.
Didn't so much in the first series, did you?
I did not.
Okay.
But I was, in my defense, I was trying to curse Gen G.
Dude, you know what cracks me up every time we go to this?
Waited on the pitch.
Is this guy down here, man. Every time.
Go ahead and stave off whatever curse you were trying to put on
We
them,
just
but
get
here
this
we
guy
are.
down here.
It could be, it could either be
It's
an
sick.
okay day for Japan or a little bit of a rough one here in VCT Pacific.
I don't know how it
But that's what's
perfectly
talking about.
worked out
Division,
that
they
this
have
guy
been
is
on
like
the
right in
up
the
and
middle
up.
here,
It looks
but
like, you know, as time's gone on,
Look at him
teams got
go,
more
man.
and more improved. Finally, we're able to get their first victory of 2025.
It's incredible.
As well as here in Stage 1 over Team Secret just last week. Prior to that, taking a map off of T1, who were fresh off of becoming Masters champions. Let's see how they fare, though, because RRQ has been on a similar trajectory and happened looking cleaner and cleaner with this newer addition of Crazy Guy.
No, this should be a really good matchup between these two teams. Both are on the up and up. Both are looking better. I'm really impressed with the quick turnaround for RRQ after bringing Crazy Guy in as the IGL. Things look shaky
Zeta
against
on
Nongshim.
attack.
They're able to
RRQ on
bounce right back,
defense.
fix a lot of the
Both teams
issues,
at
I think, in
1-1,
their
so this
macro
one
game,
is
coming into
this is
the
insanely
previous match.
important.
Here today, Zeta,
70%
a similar story. I think
pistol
their
win
macro
rate.
game's a lot better.
Jesus.
I think their ideas are more coherent, more coordinated, and you got to give the coaching staff some credit on both sides.
They're getting aggressive here as Cushy able to find himself a second kill.
So nice.
Trade back in there,
Stun
really fast.
salvos
Had
kind of
Sugar in
isolate the
position.
jewels a little bit,
Cats
but
could have been looking at a 3v3,
that was solid.
but it's going to be Jemkin's life Handed over for some very solid map control. Now a double stack here on the ramp for RRQ.
Koshi, yeah, dude, this guy's been a great pickup,
Crazy
though.
Guy will look to try to bring this round to its conclusion.
As much as they're talking about Crazy Guy, like this pickup was sick.
They're going to smoke main and then try to fight up into this, but I don't think they anticipated a second player.
It's a really nice pistol from them.
So Crazy Guy will go ahead.
And definitely comes down to that aim duel, really, though, from Koshi.
RRQ looking really nice with their coordination and some of these ideas off the rip. Happy to contest for this space. Use those salvos to clear the back. Just worry about the players up front.
He's got lovely movement there. He's hot to hit.
Jemkin go in there, do what he
Side
does
step
best,
and
get that
crouch.
first kill. Crazy Guy able to follow up and then bait, or get baited for by his teammate. Really nice job overall by RRQ. For Zeta,
Chat, what are the Americas games today?
I really like the way that XDLL plays the breach here. I think he's really quite on point with the util, with the timings. Depp has been phenomenal on the Yoru on this map. He topped the charts when they played T1.
G2 and 2G crew.
This is a potentially good map for Zeta. They're going to have to get through a lot of util here, and they're just going to back off momentarily.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of a fight G2... Nope. NRG put up. Oh, they go for the double TP, but honestly, as soon as he hears that smoke, I feel like someone calls it.
It's looking like RRQ doing their homework, knowing how these Euro Cups want to try to play around this B site. As just through the smoke, show them not going to be given any
this is an insane start for them. One armor rebuy, we've had one kill, that's it from Zeta. I like the idea from Zeta, right? They had to smoke over towards heaven, they had smoke here. They tried to TP into the smoke, TP over towards the rafters. But for sure, they were pretty much on top of it.
The way they're going to fall back behind the toxic
they're pretty much on top of it. They just were on top of it.
Them. You can throw some util then right on the B site potentially.
My faults on Australia during DRX. Do we need to see what's going on? We need to wait. I can't have too many faults on it yet. But I think he played well when he was on RRQ.
But for Zeta, got guns in hand now. There's still quite a few weapons available for RRQ, of course, as well. The judge is something to be considered. You're
with the
IGLs,
mid. 1 and 1.
Getting mega aggressive here. Now there is some angles being held. Sugar Zero along with the breach. XDL just waiting this out. Oh boy.
Double drift across Jemkin. Trying to go for that
wide swing. Timing on that one is a little bit unlucky.
With that kill, still had plenty.
Trying to win the round on the bonus when they group together.
So for now, just solid timing here for Zeta Division, getting themselves that first blood of the round. So they look to try to stop
look too good to change at the moment. That's what I'm thinking. Well, it was an interesting
a little bit more
pickup.
The older style of Zeta, with XQQ really taking the reins again as the head coach. Like this trap play or this position from Cushy.
It's going to be at risk, and yeah, there you go. Solid headshot. Clues able to put him down. A site now wide open for the taking. As it looks like it is going to be just usher forward, plant out into the open for the most part here from Clues. Get that Armageddon online. Great winger.
Looking clean on this though as well.
Showtime finding Monyet. Zeta Division looking for a flawless of their own. Off the angle here is XDL. Crazy Guy going to be taken down, and Xpharaoh just with a judge at screens. He's got nowhere to go. He's getting collapsed upon. Shota's coming around from the back. And widely, Zeta should be able to just go ahead and seal the deal on a flawless round.
Yeah, this is a really nice piece of work from Zeta.
That's a good sign from them.
Just holding their ground in mid. Winning that fight up towards ramp. A little bit of an off timing. If Cushy stays in that corner, he might pick up 1 or 2, but just didn't really have a good read on what was going on in the map. Did RRQ after losing those players in mid, so opted to kind of push out to see if he could see if any Zeta players had already been crossing in his direction while they were right up underneath his nose when he chose to do so. Paid the price. XDL, man, I've been really impressed with him and Clues so far here in stage 1. Obviously, Depp is Depp. Depp is good, but really it's the initiators who've been shining.
Solid way to go ahead, deny the bonus conversion. Let's see how they fare in the follow-up, though. Full rifles across the board available to RRQ. 2 players with half armor. Ult's still a ways away for both of these teams. The breach is out
heavy
front,
take
though.
of middle. Stun, salvo. Wait.
Clear space here. Xpharaoh going to be stunned up a Crazy Guy. Situated.
Wait, how's he allowed to just chill there?
Pushing out from beyond that poison orb ends up getting picked apart. XDL tagged up as well. Down to 30. And already around starting to get away from Zeta Division.
Zeta there, maybe
Weird.
hoping that RRQ would
They kind of like
miss
missed their.
the front of the ramp.
I don't know if they missed their combo or if there's meant to be a gap here and there's meant to be some spam. Or the smoke wasn't like flush enough, and normally you would see them if you TP up towards here. But I'm not sure. Vero should make that look as easy as he just did. I also do like the idea of how Zeta deal with the Viper smoke over towards middle, right? This TP over towards here is like heavy underrated. It's something that people use against Celsius a little bit when he does try and disrespect behind the smoke.
By that paranoia, Zeta widely going to be contained here. Needing to show it to be able to find some kind of break in this heaven position. He's able to do so. Xfero going to be taken down. Two, however, still down here on the board. It's going to be Crazy Guy coming away with 3.
Okay. He did great, and then he kind of... He knew he was heaven, and he kind of just went for the clip.
Spike picked up.
But I get it.
Should be able to at least get the plant here, perhaps, but I mean, salvos are still there.
10 seconds left.
Cap draws it out. It's going to force him forward because he has, I believe, double stack,
nice.
so comes away with that
Crazy
kill.
Guy still
RRQ
won the round, though.
Not gonna let
As much as I'm
Zeta get back into this one and tie
wanting
things
him
up.
to tuck in, he did
Yeah,
great.
so Zeta off the rip tries to go for a set play to get Depp involved in the game. And instead, it's a good backpedaling there by RRQ to make sure that Depp isn't able to really do any damage. So they're able to avoid that initial util dump. But some good things for Zeta in this round in terms of Zeta finding value on the lurks again. Using their util properly to at least keep Monyet off balance. Now he's able to reach.
Does feel like we're just counting down the days until we see enough,
still,
but
some good ideas, similar to that pistol round here with the util dump from
still wasn't here yet.
They're trying to clear the space. This time, though, they don't throw any bodies
okay,
at it.
let's hype this round up a little bit because it is a big round.
Try to get him
We got
the kill in the TP
4 here that combine next, you got 3 here that combine next. And Jempkin doesn't have a TP.
Jempkin delaying for a moment.
Yeah.
Makes the quick hop on that
They
big
nearly
crash
caught him
out
at a
to
good
safety.
time.
Both teams widely going to back away from this fight over A main. Once again, looking like heavy attention from Zeta Division over towards mid.
Yeah, it seems to be a real big piece of their game plan on this map, is to make the other team uncomfortable up there, and then set up for those crunches towards the sites.
As soon as this drone went out over
really
towards A,
anybody off guard, RRQ isn't giving those fights.
everyone
Mid, so
rotated
Lotus
in
is going to call for a group up towards A.
from Zeta.
Already RRQ sensing it because they haven't seen anybody over in the other parts of the map.
And there was no pressure over towards middle. They kept this the whole time. Yeah, this is looking a little bit rough from Zeta, but maybe they can force their way over towards site. The problem is this breach or is just going to annihilate them.
In position to try to slow things up on that approach, but Shota just able to get a stray headshot across. It's going to be Cushy taken down, rolling. Then they're going to be sent out. And just a couple
16
players
seconds.
here in main as well as Sugar Zero, just desperately trying to claw his way into the corner, but Jempkin is here, and it's just a firing squad as everyone is lined up and mowed down. No time to play with the stick having to come through, but it's going to be a tap. Tap looking for it.
Oh my god, the tap with the time is really, really bold, but it's paid off. He had to get the jewel.
Damn if it isn't costly for both sides.
And
well, it looked like
Monyet gets
Zeta
caught out,
just gonna be
looking foolish.
Run over in that round. Just absolutely ground to dust as they try to come through towards the site. Huge kill here for Shota through the smokes. Then yeah, the Rolling Thunder lands. They just start walking down the ramp. And Jempkin trying to find the right angles, expecting them to keep peeking forward, sort of pre-fires into it. But Depth there knows that he either has to stick it or go for the kill.
Yeah, the guts of it are strong though.
RRQ was already going to be there.
5 seconds left if he fake taps and no one's peeking him. I feel like no matter what happened here, someone was going to look foolish.
That looked like it was going to go RRQ's way. So even though this timeout
because if Monyet's not out here peeking, then Depp doesn't look smart.
Before.
Yep.
Like he took the risk and he called it right.
I won't claim to know the specifics about whether or not you can cancel a timeout request, but either way, don't think it's too incorrect because you don't want to be winning rounds like that.
Yep.
It's not the most reliable strategy. Need to have some cleaner ideas and not be crucially running the clock down, which is something that Zeta have been ridiculed for, let's say, in the past. They've been better about it here in 2025.
Yeah, I'd like to see them mix it up.
Hero gun, the big
there, especially when you
impact
have
rounds goes the way of Zeta. So kind of worth two unless they mess up. Oh, dude, they keep this one real simple. We're just getting
post plant and win around. But there's so much delay util, obviously, with both of these teams running mirror comps.
It just doesn't.
With the breaches, so you're trying to fish that out.
Teo just doesn't feel right.
To see them,
it just isn't right.
If they hit a rolling thunder here, I think they're trying to set up for a mid hit using the utility.
It's
from
so
Garage,
much free
from XDL,
util.
To potentially set up depth and clues. Just see if it
I feel like whatever nerf they do to Teo, it's not going to be big enough.
They're going to use the util there to try to get some info. They're going to see that ropes is clear. You do have Xfero hiding behind all that. Re-clears that space behind the util itself. So this gives RRQ pretty good idea. Yeah, this is going to be B. And everybody's already over here. So this has to be a just gorgeous util dump.
So you shoot the TP.
Comes the rolling thunder. Gate crash out. Don't believe it connects onto anyone here.
The Pharaoh did pretty good here. It's a bold strat from Zeta. It's cool though. It's something new.
Unfortunately, it's looking like similar scenes here for Zeta Division. The clock running lower and lower. She'll be able to find one. Cushy going to be taken down. TP crossover.
Wait, they hear the Omenal. Do you go B? 15 seconds left. They decide to go over towards B with the 2-person fake. And honestly, they might actually get the plant down here. Because I'm looking at Monyet again, and he might have made another misplay.
Down the plant coming through now onto the B site. 3 players from Zeta in position, but weapons now scooped up.
It's a risky fake for Zeta, but it worked.
Hit invested, but here comes the dimensional drift. Jemkin. Just scout forward into this.
I'm really surprised Monyet moved here because
outskirts of the pit,
you would imagine if you omen all, they're gonna pivot B.
Likely gets the read that Shulta's gonna be positioned over towards Alley. Time is ticking. Sugar Zero trying to hold the line. Finds one. Gun down. The Stinger coming away with one. XDL turns back. Finds Monyet. Crazy guy at this point. Just trying to see if he can do some additional damage. But with the weapon in hand,
I think they got a timeout.
Look to save.
Can't really criticize Monyet in the 1v1 too much. This, however, this was a huge misplay by him.
One survivor on RRQ.
This should be an unwinnable round from Zeta.
This is a wild round here by Zeta.
And Monyet is
the rolling thunder and a quick TP
really out of position.
Really nicely from RRQ. They're doing a good job of avoiding.
Like his Omen ult reaction to then cancel is incredible. To then push over towards B, that is. It's a shocker.
Split into 2-2. You know, just saying. We don't know where they are.
Because again, as soon as this Omen ult comes in, you're expecting them to go B.
Good read.
Like I think I even said it. And for him then to push all the way like this is.
And he does. A Bucky in hand. It's just a TP across to get to the back pillar. Continuing the scout.
I still like Zeta's idea. Right, they had a little, they had a breach all into a TP in behind this box. Kind of like this idea.
Is able to collect one.
Get the Bucky on the
down as crazy guy forced away.
Bucky on the Euro round as well.
Drone going to be cleared out here from Cushy. 4v5 for the attempt at the retake. Zeta upping the pace this time around. Like they certainly caught some players of RRQ a bit off guard.
Yeah, we see the Yoru change over towards main there.
Salvo's going to be set. XCL forced out into the open when he doesn't have bullets remaining in the mag. RRQ flood their way back into the
good plant for Heaven.
A 2v2. The taps coming through frantically, looking to try to get any kind of spot outs here. They know where Shulta's at, but I don't think they've confirmed depth at all. Pop flash going to be sent. The time is just working against them. RRQ.
It's nice from Zeta. Nice shot from Shulta. This was cool. They got some good set strats.
Zeta Division.
Even that first buy round where they tried to punish the middle holds, they got a little bit unlucky on. I think they got unlucky on the 4th round, but I think they got lucky on the round before this, so, and it evened out well. They're doing some great stuff though. This was a cool round. It's like simple but effective, and I think that they had to do something like this because I was worried because they had 2 rounds that like got a little bit close time-wise.
In terms of impact, not just with the frags, but with the map control. And
the Genji play, Genji game was like a solid mix of both. Like Genji looked good, but honestly, DFM's
it's a bit sad.
DFM's cooling and just fragging was just
Zeta fan shows
not
up,
really
and I
there.
don't mean that to say that they only have one, but like the guy.
Yeah.
You know.
The guy who is unfortunately eating during the ace.
Yeah, it's like beach.
Like if you watch DFM's attack cooling, I would be flaming a team in 2022 for playing like that.
It's been a weird one so far.
Yeah.
4-3, tight between the two teams. With 7 rounds played, we've had both teams having to use a timeout.
DFM on Team Secret.
Well, you're seeing some depth from both
it's hard
teams
because
in terms
DFM
of
can play way better than how
being
they
able to read
played.
the map, being able to
But
work
from
the
what
map.
I've seen so
I think
far, I'd
RRQ
probably
has
say
mostly had some
Secret.
pretty good ideas early. Now Zeta's made a few adjustments post their timeout, so now it's time for RRQ.
Is that bad for DFM? I think their Lotus was really
towards the points of
bad, to
attack
be
here.
honest.
Maybe see if you can find those early picks again, like you did on the pistol round. Might be something to consider, but you have to be a bit careful, of course, with the Armageddon in play and with the weaker weaponry.
Okay, 3 in a row for Zeta. RRQ got an eco.
Anyway, because, well, you're on an eco and your opponents aren't. And they're on low money too.
Damn,
so
they get Dep hit incredibly early.
do some economic damage potentially. Dep's gonna get into the corner. Use a drone to try to lead
But
the
again,
way
I
for
like
him.
that. I like that every
Get a
time they
spot.
go over towards middle, they're TPing here in case they try and
Immediately
fight
sends
behind the
RRQ backpedaling,
Viper
worried
smoke.
about some kind of response. But with Zeta having this much mid control, could be pretty tricky now.
They spotted the Vandal though.
Huh.
So the one weapon
Timing's
held forward
nuts,
is going to be noted. Jemkin just going to be calling the timing. Sugar Zero, putting him down, avoiding damage taken, and he can continue to play split away from the rest of the team. Has that ult to join back in instantaneously. As Dep does get noted in mid.
Good
So
reaction
solid
from
little
them.
re-clear
Comes
here
down
from
to
RRQ.
Pharaoh.
But all it takes is that
Oh, he
mid
pushes
positioning
forward.
to make
Mate, your
them
smoke's
think
about
that
to
this
go
is a
down.
B hit.
Oh.
They completely misread it.
God.
Now the TP forward here into the A side. Sugar Zero can stick this. Just a ghost in hand for Xpharaoh. No peek to be had. Getting the Armageddon out. Be a nice little consolation here for RRQ. Pushy on a flank.
Go ahead.
Yep.
Might be able to find a timing.
Snaky, thank you so much, dude.
XCL going to be taken down. Now they're
Thank
on
you,
Armageddon.
GG, with the 10 gifted.
more likely
Thank
to
you,
try to send
thank
it.
you.
They
As the
are
double
going
tail
to.
comes in.
Try to clear that backside. Mondiet going to be hounded down though. Crazy guy swing out. Eliminated. It's now just Xpharaoh and Sugar Zero.
Snaky
Picks up the
GG, thank you
3K
so much, bro. Appreciate
to
that. Chat, you
keep
know,
Zeta
slug
out
oiler
in
spam
front.
going.
5-3,
Brings you
not
up to
allowing Zeta to
55
come through.
altogether
It
as well,
gets damn
Snaky.
close.
Thank you for
They
the
have to
support,
use some
mate.
ultimates, but
If
they
anyone
get
got
the ults
gifted,
out of
please
RRQ
at
as well.
Snaky
The
GG say
thing
thank
that's
you.
really cool about this, a lot of great counter moves being made.
Thank you
This
for
is
doing that,
actually
mate.
the backbreaker for RRQ. They might actually win this round if Jemkin doesn't get caught in the corner there. But off the back of their ultimate, Zeta Division's Shota pushes right at the back of the Armageddon as you know he's following the waves of it. And Mondiet actually kind of reads that might be possible. Throws a paranoia out. It gets dodged by Shota, and Mondiet gets caught off guard because of it. He thought he had that clear.
Okay,
Oh,
that
Mondiet.
is...
Goodbye, Dep.
That's a punish of the default for sure.
It did not. Xpharaoh, however. Going ahead, keeping them with a very solid advantage. So 2 players down. Half the smokes. Now Shota going to be noted here in the corner. Really stunned up.
Well, this is
Nikki GG was the one who gave me my first sub, and now on the 19th. Damn, dude.
Put Zeta off
The
balance.
OG gifter.
Let them group up. It is
Did he
gonna be a
fail the
little bit open
flash?
room,
I mean, the
but
flash is like...
obviously that late poison cloud.
The flash isn't for the
quite
guy
a
that
bit of
killed
info
him,
over to
I guess
RRQ
is
in
the
terms of,
issue.
okay, well, we know we've
Like,
given up that
they
space,
don't
just
expect
hold
anyone
ropes,
to
hold mail.
be in front of their
Should
wall.
be relatively a-okay. Mondiet just jiggling.
Crazy 5. Xpharaoh tucked here into the corner. Salvo's not going to clear him out. Surely they have to get a read on this one.
Wait,
They
how on
kinda do.
earth did he
Clues
win
does
that?
manage to go ahead and get the pivot, finds that shot.
One enemy remaining.
XCL eliminated. And now it's just Clues all alone.
Dude, Clues was stunned up though, and he won this
Shot over
duel.
at the fake
Back
out.
to
Now he's
sight.
going to look to pivot back, cross over towards his B site, but you've got more.
Not the duel that was on screen, chat. The duel
completely
like
sprinting
this,
over. I mean, got the time for the plan, but not the time to go ahead and find his way through the hordes of RRQ players. So will just end up backing away into mid to hold on to the weapon. And RRQ go ahead, break this minor win streak from Zeta Division, bring it back to just a single round.
Okay, nice for RRQ, especially as they get a lot of survivors.
RRQ being a lot more proactive with the space that they're giving up.
I reckon there's a shot here. I reckon it's a good shot from Heaven. Do get a replay?
Zeta, ball's in your court. The adjustment has been made. Oh, jeez Louise. On yet there. Just through the smoke.
It's the only one we didn't see.
Clean. That's clean. Looks like we're going to do a bit of a push through. Jemkin's going to throw a TP back. They're going to try to set up a bit of a mid hit. Expecting something from Zeta.
Jemkin, quick peek. Sugar Zero dead.
Didn't even need the util. Just took him down.
Salva's trying to force him away, but Sparrow whipping on the shots, ends up dying. Jemkin's still here, however, fights back from stairs. Depp now on the floor. Clears out the drone. They don't really learn anything new that they didn't already know.
You gotta try a different part of the map now. XDL with just a Sheriff over there on B. Has the one-way in front of him. Has to back up a little bit.
I'm not super convinced from that B hold at the moment. That'll do it.
Starting to maybe heat up a bit. 3K for him.
Did EDG win today?
Spike in position for a plant, so some money.
I mean, they should be fine.
In the hands of Zeta Division.
But
as well as
EDG,
that next Armageddon.
Man, EDG look odd sometimes.
Down into mid. XDL just going on a bit of a walkabout here. It seems like they want to try to explore their options a little bit more, but Jemkin is now on for an ace.
Do they... How much do they respect this guy?
Definitely doable, but
so he plays the one before.
Okay. To him. Prefer to give it to Crazy Guy if possible, just for the ult charge. He's already got his ult. He's already feasting. Let someone else eat.
Well, he's going to be denied it. Clues is just able to fight back. And not going to get an attempt at pulling off a Munchkin. No 1v3 here. We'll just be cushy, putting him down. The
wonder if Zeta want to call the timeout if he's just fine.
Tying us up at 5-5.
Breach Teo Yoru, Breach Teo Yoru, Breach Teo Yoru, yeah.
Majority of these rounds on how Zeta
we gotta get it Teo enough soon.
Kind of get involved in the game.
Ooh, I was looking at their B default,
that was set up from
and I'm just like,
use some util. They don't
how have they taken so much space in the first 10 seconds without any risk for free?
Was just knocking people down.
Like, they actually made it so they could take the B orb
they do a good job of shutting
for
down,
free
the
within the first like 10 seconds.
See a little bit of a different look from Zeta. A lot of their game plan has come on the back of throw some utility, throw dep in, see what happens, and mostly it hasn't gone great. And they're able to play recovery off the back of that. There they go again. This time they're able to sneak him.
Would I nerf the damage, man?
Good deep smoke this time
so,
from Zero.
Just everything about the salvos.
Try to watch for a player coming through, but it's noted. They understand what happened there. So now Depp just has to try to work through on his own. Not much information otherwise. You're not going to get a little bit off that drone. You're just going to find Jemkin who's got an op. That's good, though. That's a huge, huge find.
You play the game in a new way, just not the most enjoyable way. Yeah.
For a second, I thought they were going to check up there. And it's like, oh boy.
Like, it hasn't got out of control when I'm watching it. Like, it's still relatively fun, but I am starting to, like, lean to the side of... When I see those salvos come in, I'm just like, oh, man.
Eliminated. Up on the floor. Cushy, quick to go ahead and trade it back.
I think it's just because it requires no ford as well.
Sparrow tucking back, avoiding the stun, hearing all of this.
It's still relatively hard to retake. They got breach ult.
Shots through. Fake out, dissipating. The spike now going to be planted here by Clues. Who's going to be one away from having that Armageddon online. Rolling Thunder at the ready.
Dude, Zeta go for the breach lock. They knew the ult was coming in. Everyone plays off site. Nice from them, though. Did they expect a double lock? Can't we even stop the defuse? Can't even stop the defuse. Oh boy. I mean, it was nice from Zeta because obviously they're like playing off site for the ult. But the double lock.
Some great decisions on both sides. I like what Zeta's doing. He's the one who's able to open up a little bit of
double
extra
luck
space,
in a 4v4.
RRQ able to respond in kind to take him out quickly. They use that opportunity to get the plant down, try to go for the deep post plants, but just get really torn apart there by RRQ. Didn't have the salvos in cycle yet from Clues, so they weren't able to kind of play that the way they wanted to. You're going to have the Armageddon.
Double up.
Yeah, double op. Why
double
not?
up. We've got backup gun, the stun to make sure that no one can capitalize off of your Viper roll once you do it. Really worried for this Viper roll. Where it doesn't have much place to hide. Two missiles, no cooldown. Let them use each missile independently. Yeah, but then the agent's dead. Only two.
There that you get the Armageddon out of the way with this pit. You can lure them into the operator, but so far Zeta's able to mostly kind of work their way around it. They've got complete mid control. Op was passed over or dropped, excuse me, by Crazy Guy.
3 could work. 3 could work, and you can only use 2 max.
It's a great stun. That delays Zeta even more.
Jumpkin spotting out 1. As Crazy Guy just trying to hold things down.
Yeah, I think what they'll go for is they up the recharge price. They'll just do 50. I think they'll do 55-second cooldown. That's more in line with like what they normally do.
Into the triple stack at B. Flash not going to be finding much of anything there as the Armageddon does get sent down. Oh, Cushy hitting the one-tap depth, going to be put down on the floor. The repeat is Jemkin coming away with 2. Not ready for Clues there, or Clues rather, at drop. Does end up falling, but goes now with everything to do and just not that much time to try to make it happen. Swing onto the corner.
Very, very nice in the end from RRQ. Really stabilized towards the end here.
That's going to be RRQ recovering the half, now up 7-5.
Yeah, not a bad half though for Zeta. I think you're pretty content with getting 5 on your attacker side. You have to feel like your defense can be pretty clean. I'm not sure what this Armageddon was though. That one's a little weird from Clues. Basically, the only thing it clears is just right underneath the Raptors. That's by the box, by Alley. Okay. Anyway. Still though,
make the
you're able to string it up together there.
radius shorter.
Enough, to seemingly
yeah,
make this look
if it was like a
very
lot shorter, then I'd be down.
For RRQ and attacker side, that the last time we saw it was completely ineffective.
Even then, though, it still doesn't really change the main issue.
Gotta love the hype man there, letting him know. A lot of Zeta fans, of course. I'm sure we had a lot of fans come over from Japan today.
Yeah, looking for something to cheer for, frankly, just to be blunt after the first series. And a bit more action, a bit more lively.
Yeah, I mean, this is the team that gives Japan the most hope.
Like you said, overall, scoreline, not too bad, but I think still could have been better.
Yeah.
A lot of those rounds getting worked down to the wire, dangerously close to running out of time. And RQ just had an overall very solid initial read as far as what the game plan is going to be from Zeta. There's been some solid adjustments, some good lurks to make this a bit more contentious, but let's see how they fare. RQ able to take that opening pistol. Zeta now looking to go ahead and equalize the count.
For sure. Looks like Zeta gonna throw a few bodies at A themselves in the early part of the round, but RRQ is anticipating that it's gonna be a push out somewhere on the map.
Is that to do the same pistol as them?
It's actually A, but X-Pharaoh playing safe the whole way through.
Both teams did the same pistol. Zeta put 3 people behind this.
Okay, that's where they got aggressive.
Only real diff.
Maybe gonna fan out more. Maybe try to reestablish mid control.
RQ
shift over to the other side.
Create pressure over towards middle, insta group over towards A because it's where they went aggro, so they think the one person's set up. You can see they're pretty much right.
Have one available, so he's just planted here to fight. Oh, Monyet is just gonna go ahead and wide swing out. Breaks his crosshair. Clues. Lingering in behind, has to be
Farrah's holding, but is he actually... Oh, okay, he's really on it.
Quite well, but X-Pharaoh with that frenzy. It just picks him to pieces.
A good reposition from him, and we got the luck over towards middle.
Corner here for Zeta Division as X-Pharaoh pulls back now deeper into main. Paranoia out, Jemkin able to find Shota. And this pistol is looking damn good for the side of RRQ.
They got I mean, it was a nice call in the pistol, right? It makes sense. Re-clear over towards A. They took mid in reaction, or at least create pressure over towards mid, like they were taking in reaction. Then just they know they're setting the one up. Easy call. Go over towards where the one
on one
is.
side of the map. You had an aggressive push out that really didn't amount to much on the A side. So now let's go back that way. And Crazy Guy the whole time just ends up lurking.
Pierre, good morning, mate. Good morning.
Comes through, and that's why he's able to catch the Zeta players off guard on ramps initially. They're not anticipating that somebody could quite be there so quick. And really just well thought out, well set up.
Yeah, they're allowed 2 deaths on this.
Streamer cam set up, just aimed at his hand.
That's all you need to see.
It's just like, yeah.
Got the backup shorty.
Yeah, don't look at my face. Look at my hands.
That's where he's getting the work
What was my favorite meta to watch? Honestly, probably Chamber.
Shorty for backup here to step.
Chamber was fun because it was like individual skill, really.
Anticipating some pressure.
I did enjoy. Honestly, I did enjoy the Sky recharge flash meta. Like the amount of mind games that were on in that, like as a minimap watcher, is probably one of the most fun.
Instead, they're just getting a ton of info off X-Pharaoh.
Sky was an underrated meta, yeah. It was like smart to just watch stuff. It looked fun to be an IGL in that meta, basically.
And Clues just gets destroyed.
You could just outsmart people, you'd have to duel them.
Ready to meet them. They just don't know what's hitting them here. X-Pharaoh absolutely taking over the round. And Cuss will connect, gets a bit of damage there onto Shota. Gets him down to 70. Ghost now going to be picked up, but they're fanned out. They're in control. RRQ up by 4 as they hit 9.
Yeah, they keep all the guns. Got to rebuy 1 armor.
I think it was.
Wait, what?
Because Shota didn't get. There was no assist on that kill. And Viper do not have a stun. Yeah, okay. I mean, just nasty stuff from X-Pharaoh. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happens.
It happens. Viper has stun, bro. Viper has stun, bro.
Well, clearly still having fun with it. Outlaw now in play. Only 1 half armor on the side of Zeta.
That's depth. And he's in mid, so
Cover going out.
That's the direction Monyet wants to go. But right now, Monyet looking to try to deal with Sugar Zero. You know that's going to be your opponent. Over on this B side 90% of the time. He's usually quite good.
Wait, what is this buffing in middle?
Sugar uses that to hide himself, has to.
The drone, like,
smoke.
did this, just avoided the smoke, just jump each time.
Flash sent.
Okay, boss B, and it all comes down to Sugar Zero. As he did with the TP. Well, they know where he is now.
Oh, should have caught a tiny little pixel out of place.
It's a really good TP from him. He knows he's gonna get Uto dumped.
The flash through, off angle taken, does manage to find a bit of damage and Shota blinded
The flash was incredible as well.
Picks off Monyet. Salvo's now gonna be sent out. RQ held at bay. Sugar Zero swinging on the corner, finds one more. Cushy gonna be taken down here as Clues comes in. It's now down to X-Pharaoh.
Really doable.
7. Weapon swapped over. Some time to go ahead and get the reload off. Could be winnable, but doesn't check down below.
Sugar Zero played this great. I think there was some util to stop him from swinging, otherwise he would have had like a really nice double swing as well off of the contact.
Yeah, I really like the way that Sugar Zero plays this round.
No, he plays it great, yeah. Breaks the TP, breaks the Euro TP. TP's over towards site. Flash hit 3.
And then playing to wait for the rest of the team there.
Yeah, and then he's just playing for time.
Retake for Zeta. They're able to, or not a retake, but just good defense there. Able to shut him down pretty nicely. However, money wasn't so great, so they're going to have a Stinger and a Guardian, full rifles for the side of RRQ. Zeta's just going to
Is that enough?
Looking for a crunch. X-Pharaoh considering a peek back through. Stays quiet, avoids the stealth drone. Now he's going to scale forward, potentially be able to find a catch here on to Clues. Oh, here's the orb being taken.
Oh, God.
And
well, that'll do it. Well, that's been going on. The whole team's X-X'd over towards A, by the way.
Spike is being planted.
But now they're going to fast go. Crazy Guy gets a good plant for Heaven, so can they trade space? They're just locked in towards site.
Spoken to Heaven gone. XCL picking up 1. So a 4v4, still this very deep lurk coming through.
Such a weird round.
Spawn yet. Tries to hold things down here at main. Smoke, however, going to be cycled in a bit too late. Sugar Zero pushes forward, finds one, but now it's Pharaoh strikes. Cushy's still here behind the screen, the back sight. Will pick apart the remaining two. And that's RRQ not allowing for any kind of back-to-back action.
Two people can't buy from Zeta on this.
At 6 as they get up to double digits.
I love the game plan here from xFaro. Just being so cautious as that lone player on the extremities of the map. We saw it early in the game on the pistol round where he was just kind of waiting to see what they do. And this time around, instead of just calling in the reinforcements, he just plays for himself. Says, I'm just going to wait him out a little bit, see if I can catch him off guard. And he does it perfectly. And even though Zeta tries to react quickly to that A hit, they're just thrown completely off balance. And the crossfires are in place for RRQ, and they're set up very, very nicely. Clue's just going for a timing shot there. Nobody home for RRQ. They're tucked in, nestled, waiting to see if anybody else from Zeta is going to try to ruin their round, but nobody really looking to do so.
And so they get a lot of info.
Throwing up the toxic screen.
Surprised he doesn't throw a TP to the back of site here.
So that's going to probably pull some
maybe because he's only got one and they want to save it for the Exec. But in an ideal world, that TP to back of side is causing so much trouble, and then I feel like you could just send it.
They're really nervous about some kind of trap or something like that being set up, and rightly so. It's split, and going against a team on an eco. I get it.
Okay, there goes his last TP in the end.
3 Sheriffs, Classic, and a Ghost here. Zeta, thrifty win here. Could be enough to try to get themselves back into the action, but Deb, caught by Jemkin. Goes up and over the top, reads it beautifully.
Oh man, look at him. He's just done everything. Now he joins his team for the hit.
A sight open here for the taking. Poison Orb just bounces up into heaven. As CL needing to try to find that kill, but Monyet's got covering fire.
Managed to get the orb as well, gets his ult into the next big buy round.
Not much more to be done
Ever since they switched halves, RRQ just looked great.
Stay collected together.
Wait, what's happened to this camera?
To go off.
Like the streamer setup.
Very difficult. RRQ being so diligent. Oh, Cushy. Steps right into that smoke.
Look at the hand cam, yeah.
Zero does manage to find one, so it's not going to be a flawless.
Just realized, yeah, dude, I haven't been looking at that. I look at the mini-map most of the time. He's been like this the whole game.
Leave it where it is. Suspects that it's going to be watched, and he would be correct. So we'll just go ahead and go down to the spike. RRQ.
Looked like he had a kind of low sense, though. Either that or he's just swinging his mouse around.
I think Zeta still has one more, right?
They do.
Yeah, okay. So
both teams have one remaining. We had 2 timeouts burn in the first 7 rounds, and then radio silence.
But I think that would be a good time for one. There's still a chance to turn this map around. It's not going to be easy. RRQ looks really sharp today. Again, you know, the big problem for them against Nongshim on this map, right, was that
there's a chance Paper X might go winless.
Too slow.
I mean, yeah, there is for sure a chance, dude. It's relatively high chance.
RRQ, so I'm willing to kind of give that a pass.
Especially if I keep picking them.
But now they're being a lot more decisive towards the end of the round. Like, once they find that open space, once they feel like they've got the read, they just go for it, and Jemkin's just drive-bying with some flashes.
See here, empty side. Nice timing of the salvos into the end of the ult, though. This is a nice strat.
Site going to be opened up, stealth drone. Maybe catching a
quick get into good off the palm positions with the Viper as well.
Doesn't really tell them anything they wouldn't have already known, and because that suppresses and go off, the pit is now in play.
They got double luck on this one. I'm sure they need to double luck. I would prefer my own, and especially with the Viper ult, to have like flash here for this. But you know the space they're gonna take, but it doesn't matter when Jemkin's wrecking everyone. Dude, this is a nice strat though. I like this a lot. The timing of the salvos into the end of the ult is really cool. Like this has been
changes in tempo here.
It's been dry run on.
This is something you love to see. And it's so hard to read as defenders. You know, yes, you have the Aura ultimate. Yes, that makes it easier to do that.
Surviving at 1 HP as well.
Getting to a place where you can put that pit, have good value, You know, Depp's got an op. He's basically nullified, stuck in the back
Also
of the alley
motivated,
without
promoted to
any
GE head
angles to
coach.
watch
I mean, let's
because
see
of
what
the
he's
pin right in
got.
his damn face.
At least from what I could see, he did pretty good micro stuff.
Jemkin's just all over
But
it.
it's a big
Great
change
round
up
for
now. He's
him.
got a lot of responsibility.
Last-ditch effort as Armageddon sent out very early here, and I mean, crazy guy dead. XCL coming away with that one, but the trade is in. Jemkin keeps the numbers evened up. Rolling Thunder still in the back pocket. Drone does identify the breach's position. So RRQ know that if they decide to continue pushing forward towards A, that Rolling Thunder could greet them very quickly.
Had the crazy guy die. They do a set strat where they like they damage here with the salvos. Sorry, with the tail. Oh, salvo, and then they breach damage like this area.
I got this. No, you don't. Oh boy.
So it's, let me do it with squares. You can see salvo, breach damage.
About to fly off. Sparrow creeps forward, gets over towards drop.
Oh my god.
I mean, Kep lands on his damn head! Copa stops him, but that doesn't do it. A lick of damage.
I mean, it was looking close, and then it just wasn't. Basically,
of a wonky start,
it's a really nice attack from them.
Map of split in the first half, but then just clean.
Yeah.
The whole rest of the way from RRQ.
Oh, great. I mean, just great reads, great decision making, great individual skill on display, everything you could want. I liked Zeta's game plan early, but once RRQ was allowed to settle in, it was just lights out.
Solo can elevate solo carry GE. It's so hopping. A solo coach, he needs help, no doubt.
RRQ just,
like they have to get someone else.
Rock solid. Really just so impressed.
You can only last for so long as a solo coach.
Kind of patience and then changes of tempo, good decision making. I mean, I think you got to start to like what you're seeing from Crazy Guy now that he's, you know, feeling comfortable with this roster. He's much more decisive. They're making really good reads across the map, and they're playing off of the info. The big thing is a lot of times they're winning info games, and therefore they're able to make the higher percentage decisions.
How does Alex solo coach? Well, it's not the best example at the moment, to be fair.
Again, some of the little ideas, just a little bit deeper for RRQ. Jemkin obviously is always Jemkin. He's always putting up good numbers for you no matter what.
A bit of a rough loss here for the side of Zeta, just unable to find their footing whatsoever in that second half. Only the anti-bonus round going their way. That's their map pick. Now we get ready to go to RRQ's, which is going to be Haven. And we'll see if Zeta are going to be able to rally back, fight tooth and nail, and take this over to a third one, or if it's going to be a 0-4 day for Japan as a region. We'll go ahead and send things back over to the analyst desk, though, to break down the action from Split.
Takes time hiring a new coach.
Thank you, Seth and Clinton.
I don't know what
First
they do.
map split. What I'm really liking from RRQ is that they are continually getting better on their split each time they play it.
Yeah, it looks a lot better, especially
Get
from
TMB as a coach.
That, you know, week one game. You know, I think it's night and day.
I think he's happy
doing
what he does.
I liked a lot of their macro ideas, and they felt very confident.
It's actually they don't have many options.
I can see a way Zeta could really get into that game, especially in the second half.
Yeah, it was kind of touch and go initially, though. Like I felt like RRQ was letting Zeta get away with way too much, especially with some of those like very late last-second attack rounds where Zeta, especially coming into a util heavy comp.
How good has Talon been? Very hit or miss, mate. Very hit or miss. The individuals look good. Strangely enough, GE's best option might be this guy.
I think we're given a little bit too much respect by RRQ. After they took a timeout, though, they really made some better adjustments, and from there, like, it was just a very smooth game.
Coached them before
Jemkin actually
in the country.
Against Nongshim. He did not have a great game. Crazy Guy did not have a great game either. They didn't get a single round on attack. This time, both of those guys and everyone on RRQ, fantastic individual performances.
He's been really good.
They did most of the work on their attacking side, where last time they couldn't even get around against Nongshim. So
you might be able to steal them.
Either they had a mental break in that game specifically, or they've worked on things a lot since that game and learned some hard lessons from it.
Yeah, and here are some of the numbers from the game here. And you guys were talking about Crazy Guy and how he's, you know, he stepped up, especially in that second half there. But the first half looked very much in, you know, it was back and forth, but Zeta had a really good momentum there. And Shiota was one of the guys we were keeping our eyes on.
Yeah, I thought he played actually a really good game. But, you know, across on the other side as well, Jemkin is a natural standout on this RRQ team.
Yeah.
Who will take the map MVP there. And, I mean, Jemkin has been cooking this stage 1. Statistically, in terms of impact, I mean, Jemkin is looking better and better day by day. I think he's challenging for that top of Pacific.
Yeah, I think he might be the best duelist in Pacific. It's just that RRQ haven't necessarily been able to win anything. Like, I think obviously you can't go past Buzz because T1 has had so much success. Yeonmin's been a fantastic rookie, but Jemkin, especially if RRQ does really well this stage, you've got to really throw his name in the ring. He's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, a guy who's just been added to this roster, a guy who's been crazy, and today we're seeing much more of that happening.
Let's see what you did there. Nice.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh my God! Wow. No, I think he's been great. He's been a guy for sure. Some might say he is one of the guys of all time. No, I think his breach was much better last time he played Split. I think it was like 5 and 15 or something like that. This time 17 and 5 or something. Like literally flipped the scoreline back the other way, supported his team well, did well in the mid-round, and it seemed like their attack side calling was much more cleaned up as well, so doing everything that you would have wanted from him. I really liked what I saw from him on the breach.
Yeah, definitely a much better pace. Now, we were touching on Shota a bit on that Viper, and you know, he had some fantastic plays as well.
I liked him a lot on this first half. I feel like he understood the role nicely. He kept finding timings the whole way through. His lurks on A were good, and he was really able to shoot. I mean, I feel like on this first half, he played the Viper about as well as you could, to be honest. I was very impressed with his performance at the start, and I was really hoping that would, you know, we'd see that as well in the second half. But Shota was somebody who has been struggling so far this stage, but I do think there were signs of improvement for him in this map in that first half. So his ceiling is clearly much higher than we've seen from him in the past. So it's about, for him, finding that consistency, and I think if he can do it, he'll be a great player for Japan.
Yeah, I think defense, he kind of slowed down, as did the rest of Zeta, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm keeping my eye on him. They need to unlock more of him if they want to get to be able to, you know, get to the heights that they need to for Zeta.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that I did need to point out from this game. Depp did not have the great game, and I think I've pinpointed why. Look at this Sheriff skin. What are you doing,
What
Depp?
is that?
Change that right now. Change that this second. How are you supposed to win if that's what you... Terrible. Honestly, I saw that and it wound me up so much.
Yeah.
You can't win with those kind of skins.
You don't like the little plain skin?
Not
you guys believe in the power of the skin,
professional level.
like good skins?
Oh yeah, skins feel different.
What are we talking about, Sheriff? Singularity?
Oh yeah, I would take
Red
that.
Singularity?
I would take that. Even a Reaver, that's, you know, there's a lot of classic options, but not the little aeroplane Dev. Come on, get it fixed, man. Get it fixed.
Well, what I want to know is what our map MVP, what... do you guys remember what Sheriff skin he was using?
I don't, but it was probably a good
Singularity.
one. It was probably...
I think it's Singularity.
You're just going to call your favorite one?
I don't even have that one. It's never even come into the bloody... Riot, please. Please. Night Market. Shot anything. Any day. I check every day.
I like the... I use the Arcane Sheriff.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Yuck.
What? Don't make that face. Don't make that face. It's like from the OG Riot games. Come on. But Jemkin, I don't know. I don't remember what Sheriff he was using, but he's definitely by far the map MVP there. Like you guys we're saying he just continues to get better and better. He's so good, Jemkin.
We can't call him the best duelist, but I think he's probably the best Yoru. Is that fair?
Yeah,
I think he's probably the best for Yoru.
He's up there.
Yeah, I could definitely get behind that argument. He's certainly playing it a lot as well. I mean, has he played anything else but Yoru yet?
Yeah, I think so.
Stage 1?
I think so.
Stage 1?
I don't know if he has. So we're gonna have to get that
his
checked.
jet was insane in kickoff, and we're going to see Haven here, so that's the real test.
Oh, yeah.
If he's on Yoru again on Haven this time instead of Jet, then I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Not only Yoru main, Yoru one trick. He can't play anything else. This guy's trash. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Haven is coming up. Both of these teams have some history here on Haven, but RRQ has yet to show at this stage 1. Is it going to be Yoru? Is it going to be Jet? Is it going to be Raze?
What do you want to see, Pilsky?
I mean,
what about, for me, I think Yoru ISO can fit this team nicely.
No.
What? Really?
No.
You don't like it?
I think too many people are playing that comp when they shouldn't be, to be honest. Global esports, for example. But in my opinion, I think RRQ don't need to change anything on Haven. I think their Haven's been fantastic. They smashed Secret and DFM on this map in kickoff. They only lost in GENG with that insane comeback from GENG and the crazy Munchkin call in OT. They were 2-1 overall. They only lost in OT. They just played the boring metacomp, guys. Clushy on the Sova. You know, your Chuck Crazy guy on the breach. He was great on the breach on Split. Jemkin, every time he played Jet on this map, he was absolutely doming. So I don't think they need to do anything special. I think just keep it stock standard. and just, you know, run Zeta down. The thing is, Zeta, like, before kickoff, this was a great map for them. Like, in the off-season, this is a great map for them, but for some reason, in kickoff as well as stage 1, it hasn't been as good as it was in the off-season, and it used to be. Like, Haven is a map I used to associate with the Japanese teams being quite good on, so they needed to rediscover that trend, rediscover that form a little bit.
Dep on Jet.
Dep on Jet?
I wouldn't say no to Dep on Jet. I think that would be...
I miss it.
Yeah, I think it would be nice.
Just not the Jet Sheriff skin, the plane.
Oh, you're right. I can agree with that.
Skins. Please, Dep. Please!
Especially, oh yeah, that combo is just blah. It just blah. It's good for the enemies to look at if they cringe as well.
No, what it is, it's so your opponent can't pick it up. They see it on the floor and they think it's not even
Nah,
worth
don't pick up the Sheriff.
It's not even worth the upgrade.
I'm gonna use this classic. But I hope in this next map, Shiota does pick it up, plays it better than that little reflex game that he did when he missed every single one in the content.
Oh yeah, the falling beam.
A lot of race car drivers
I just did that, and Big Time put me to shame. Like, absolutely diffed me.
Some of us are young and youthful.
I haven't
have reaction times.
I have not recovered. I mean, I'm reminded that every time I queue ranked, so you don't need to do that IRL to me as well. That's all I had left.
All right, now back to the game. Does Zeta have a chance here? Yeah. Or do me and Paper Thin have a chance at winning our predictions today?
They do, but it's slim. They have to look a lot better than they did in that map 1 for me.
Yeah, they had a very slow
First half was good.
Yeah?
Just change your skin depth. It's not too late. You can do it like right now.
That's what we're going to put it down to. So, look, we'll see what Zeta is going to be bringing into this one. I don't think RRQ should change a thing, personally. I'm very interested to see what Zeta are going to be bringing for us. Dep will be over onto that Neon. You're going to have clues on the Teo. So they're playing pretty much the meta comp, just no Sova. They have Teo instead. And I'm glad to see Dep back on the Neon. In the off-season, he was a terror on this agent. Yeah,
he was good. But on the side of RRQ, I got it right once again. We got Yoru ISO coming across, Jemkin on the ISO, Monyet on the Yoru. Now, this is a sizable change, but I like it. Now, we're talking about, do they have the personnel to pull it off, like some of the bigger names do? But I think Monyet and Jemkin can make this work.
Ooh, that's a curious swap there. All right, we're going to go to Casters and Clinton. I want to talk about our Preds today. Do you ever feel so paper thin, like a House of Cards?
A plastic bag?
One map from caving in?
Monyet, Yoru, Jemkin, ISO.
That was the toss. I don't know. Do you ever feel?
Yes, I feel.
Okay.
I feel
honestly, I'm
things.
down to the Jemkin,
today
ISO.
Is disappointment.
Well, let's see. There's still some time for that to be turned around. But, yeah, Tesk's talking about it, obviously.
My favorite
I don't know that song,
Sheriff skin out of these.
If it wasn't a song.
The Ion. Most because I have no idea what the others look at. Actually, the
so
Kuranami is better, right?
If it is, I have no clue what it is. Either way, Dep sliding in, finding himself a transfer with that frenzy in hand. 2 kills going to be collected.
You guys making me talk about skins?
We're off to the races here in the pistol round.
This is what happens.
Yes.
No idea what's going on.
This is what
Straight up
see.
C hit. Double kill, back of sight. I imagine there was a stun there, frenzy. Yeah, which one's a Neon Frontier? I don't even know what that is.
How about this one?
Oh no, please guys.
What have you done?
Why do I talk?
I asked
Okay.
that question every day, but okay, Shota able to find one.
No.
Into the 1v1.
Oh god, how?
And why do you talk indeed?
How?
I'm happy to just solo cast the rest of this if you want to shut the hell up.
Actually, how?
It was a great start, but it's RQ's pistol in the end.
Why? Why does it have to be
like the best person to get all the kills as well?
This man.
Yeah, I'll take. You know what? I'll own that one.
Dude, I'll do it.
There's nothing but
the cast. You know better than that.
That was a slinky moment of my own right there. Just yeah, this is good. Nope.
But here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I like the look. If that's how the rounds are widely going to go and the tempo that's going to be set, I think that could be very good for Zeta Division.
I agree, but
they get the one
deeply concerning
armor.
that you're not ready for that angle.
Maybe for the potential marshal that they think's here, but they're up against an outlaw.
I mean, just caught Dep.
Dude, I need
there after that stunner of an opener.
I need Zeta to give me some hope, man.
Oh, well.
Push down through the sewer. XCL going to come away with one. Cushy looking for a little bit more. Has to swap over the classic. The outlaw shots to try to go ahead and save him off. And Crazy Guy able to go ahead and push forward, refill some space. Headshot found, but kill not confirmed. Shota backpedaling, shock dart not going to connect.
Recon into swing.
very much pinned and picked apart. So 2 kills gonna be found.
Yeah, they did it right though. A little bit of damage.
Still there. The
double guns out. Double armor rebuy.
2-0.
Yeah, I mean, you would expect with a Neon here that it can be a little bit pacier at times. I mean, the way Boom plays it though, sometimes they're pretty slow with the Neon.
We hit 12,410. I think Weber. Crazy, crazy numbers.
Throw them off balance. It can work, and against an ISO comp, you know, if you can kind of get ahead of the curve a little bit, you know,
Tarek was a beast. Yeah, Tarek carried, man. Tarek really carried.
It doesn't go well sometimes.
He came in for the late game carry.
Holy hell.
There you go.
Down to 4 HP, just util dump over at main. Still does have a shield, but with the Bulldog, can be a little bit rougher. Trying to find a value there, so it looks like, yeah, he's just going to pass the weapon over.
Okay, I like this though. They create pressure. Create the question mark.
Worth noting, we didn't get to talk about, just given how...
When does Cushy drone? Does he ever want to drone? Could literally be watching him.
Crazy guy.
Interesting.
He's never played this before, to my knowledge.
Has Jemkin played ISO?
I want to say no. Xfero.
How greedy are you?
Watched here for the moment by
Very greedy.
Go ahead, find that elimination.
Is
confirmed.
Is a bonus.
Staying here, getting tagged up while within the smoke. This crazy guy, drifting across, but the glimpse is going to be caught. Jemkin still somehow comes away with one before falling. Depp going to be put down on the floor. The frenzy
I like
not going
it.
to find too much. Cushy.
Know about the
from an unanticipated. You can't do this. We've seen this so many times. Teams
yeah, we've seen everyone try that one.
Practice or in a private lobby. I'd like to see it, but so far on stage hasn't come to fruition. So he will fall, and bonus conversion going to be denied. And very
the rough
casualties here on the side of Zeta.
Rough part about this is ISO getting the ult early, so they definitely can leave C on retake again if they want to. The amount of C spams we see at the moment is... Maybe it's just the last 2 days, but...
I mean, when Depp's at his best, Split was definitely one of his worst maps I've ever seen from him earlier today, but...
Okay, retake over towards A.
When he's clicking, he's one of the best.
Kind of, I mean, it's kind of retake everywhere, it's looking like. Oh, instant. Wait, they can't really get a trade on this.
XCO able to find one yet. Meantime,
damn, Sugar Zero.
Both duelists on
yeah, dude, I mean, normally I like to have a backup plan with the ult instead of the straight up 50-50 because you just can't get a trade on that.
Over and window through the wall.
Well, I say 50-50.
Just a read, maybe. Or maybe trapped him with the
one-sided
util or something.
Ooh, Cushy absolutely destroys them all.
God damn.
Spike on the floor. He's scaling forward on for an ace.
God, Zeta, chat. Zeta lose a 3v5 in the pistol. And they lose a 3v5 on the big buy round as well. That if they won it would have pushed them over.
Push out of the
Wait,
smoke. Shota not going
did
to
they lose
allow
it?
for it to happen. Crazy guy now. Very much thinking better about going for the peak.
Now you have a decision to make, Asiota. Do you try to sell the fake, like you've gone all the way to C, and then just pump the brakes and wait for crazy guy to go over? You had a pretty decent read on where
minimap wise, he's kind of owned it.
Theft.
I mean, it's a big round, chat. Look at the money.
Asiota has a chance. He looked really
like this
sharp
1v1 is.
Could clutch out around that. Started like it.
It's kind of the difference from an insane stuff for RRQ, or just we actually get Zeta having a good go at this. He's so far away.
Cushy had other things to say. It's been just so tremendous. Crazy guy, the new pickup, a chance.
Does have the smoke, so
really put the screws to Zeta.
Doesn't want to play too far away.
Very much bails him out if he can go ahead and get this victory. Either way, damage.
Very, very nice.
It's going to be a Red Bull clutch for
well,
Shota to go ahead and tie things
the 5v3's intact. It's all good.
From the previous map.
An age requirement for being a coach in VCT is 18.
Everything out of the hands of RRQ.
Oh, he just walked out into the open there. All right. This is just crazy. Oh my God.
Did that last one.
Yeah, damn clean, but so too are the follow-up kills from Shota to be able to go ahead and get the round win for Zeta.
Okay, force them down to Nico. They got and honestly, there was a bit of a Bit of a mess up from RRQ. In the 1v2 for sure. The ult idea, in my opinion, isn't great.
That corner. Spamming it down, just trying to create a little bit of a distraction. Loses the spike. Be careful here. He's just going to step up and take his turn to spray through. They're looking for that push out with the weaker buy. But RRQ is happy to wait. Try to see if they can lure them into A site, but it is just going to be a change of direction for the side of Zeta mostly. Pass the spike over, Clues will maybe look for that kill towards mid, the lurking players. As they set up for the B hit.
Looking pretty nice.
On the X-Pharaoh here.
Come through safely and down. Dem is fully blinded up. He's backpedaling and just happens to hit a lucky headshot. Cushy, great boss the previous round, taken down. As Zeta look to flawlessly get themselves into the lead, but not quite going to happen. Jemkin does manage to find one. Dep with 3.
Good news for Zeta though. They keep that insanely clean. They get their money good, and they got good ults.
Back in for another buy.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what this starts to look like now for RRQ. You know, trying out this ISO Yoru comp. You know, obviously the double duelist with an ISO on this map, something that going back to Fnatic in previous iterations of it was perfected, I would say, by T1 in a way. So a lot of teams have been leaning into it. And so far, it just hasn't had that coordination that they'd like.
Is it perfected by T1 or is Meteor just incredible?
Jemkin and Monyet kind of clear some space. Can be a little tricky on the defender side, obviously, and against a Neon. You do have Depth Salt, you do have an Armageddon as well, so the ability to clear out that right side of B site and get the plant down, especially now that you know that
every time I watch him, he's just insane.
A little bit of a spray cross, minor damage suffered there by Dep. Jemkin able to find one shot, they're going to be taken down. As, Dep into the open. So just go ahead and slide away. Has he escaped? Looks at the answer, maybe yes.
The distraction was kind of nice there.
A bit of a distraction there from the flank. Does find one. The ISO going to be picked off, but this round is very much still looking great for the side of RRQ.
Here.
Monyet tucked back plat with the open hand. Crazy guy.
One enemy remaining.
Able to just swiftly take down Dep. Monyet will find the headshot. So 3-3. We are all tied up.
Yeah, this one's a bit of a head scratcher for me for Zeta. I felt like they had a really good opportunity.
Just wait till you find out that Sideshow is younger than Chobra and me. Wait, how old is Chobra?
The time that you would need to put the spike down, but instead they tried.
I think we've had this talk before, right?
And they don't have anybody to quickly back up that stealth drone, so therefore RRQ is able to retake that space themselves and just kind of collapse on top of Zeta.
36 looks crazy
so it seems like
good
Zeta
for
had a plan
36.
at the beginning of the round, just went with it the whole way. There was no mid-round adjustment, and I think it cost them. Here we go. Deps just turn on the afterburners.
Looking for another pacey hit. Cushy sprinting across through the spawn to try to get into
looks
position.
mid-20s, yeah.
Available to try to
not
go ahead and stop the plant from coming through. As, okay, it's a press out on the 2. Just here, he's going to be set. Paranoia flying through as well. Cushy does come away with one. Depth reading it well, catching a second elimination, looking for the third.
Does it not just feel odd from RRQ to not combo stuff here though?
It's Crazy guy now, last one standing. Spike planted backside.
Your double damage.
Crazy guy's position now confirmed here inside the site. 5 bullets remaining. Dep on the approach here from behind. The spike now planted for him, but Crazy guy.
Oh my god.
He's out in front, out into the open.
And then they ended up just solo ult without much info. I think they can combo that a little bit better, and then they would take space and people can flood in as well. Like, I don't think this plan is great from RRQ. I just think it can be a lot better. Dude, Dep absolutely melts him,
that opportunity to put the lightning fingers on.
If we just focus on Zeta though, good understanding of the rounds, just multiple ults used, they would know that they can reset the econ.
That long lurk from Dep had just enough time to get there. Still, I'd like to see a little bit more
everyone gets to
coordination.
1-9, but obviously they kept 4 people alive in that round
You've
before.
got a 1vx scenario, or an XV1 in this case for Zeta.
Okay, now they fake over towards C. Do we get any kind of rotate? They have a reaction towards middle. Oh, dudes. Reaction towards middle, they don't see anyone. They're the Yoru ult. Okay, so these guys need to speed up, and then you gotta look at Cushy and think that he is gonna have a rough time here.
Before they're able to get the bulk of their forces over. Just comes down to confidence and timing.
It's going to be X-Pharaoh still a world away. Paranoias get exchanged on both sides. Dart getting a ping out, Depp getting quieted, but damage as he slides that over into the cubby. Similarly here for Clues, it's an immense amount. Still looking for an opener, but Jemkin a little bit more snappy with it, finds that kill.
There's so much, so much weird stuff going on. I feel like Zeta was slow to react. This crazy guy get here in time.
Same could be said for Crazy Guy.
Jemkin's got his ult 2 now.
Guys, please.
Trying to line it up, a couple taps there. Does take
Ult
XCL
goes
a little
in.
bit lower, but Depp.
Isolated 1v1 over towards side. Jemkin loses this as well. No armor on this one.
Not looking cozy here when it comes down to the ice.
Well, 0-2 in terms of the ults at the moment.
Zeta now up by 2.
All right,
Not having a great time with it.
I would suspect that there's going to be a stoppage of the time.
For RRQ believers, this comp is very attack-sided, so they'll have a much better time on attack. But
there, doing a great job being pesky on the flanking.
They're messing
I like
up.
this with the Neon. The way that they're kind of all over the map with it. Use it to create some space early and then watch the flanks late. Really good on-the-fly decision-making by Zeta there as well to pull back off of that A hit because they had taken just a little bit too long. RRQ was able to get there in time. And they're able to just kind of send, Sota in there. Nice drawing, by the way, too.
yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. I was just talking about him. But then to pivot over to C, good reads. This time for Zeta, who are looking really sharp here. This is RRQ's map pick, thinking maybe we haven't shown Haven this split, so let's see if we can catch teams a little bit off balance. We've been working on the double duelist comp ourselves, but Zeta just...
Where's the hardcore Zeta fan? The guy that goes crazy? Dude, he hasn't been there for
years.
He wasn't there last week either.
Feels like these are the 2 Zeta maps where they're going to at least
the
be
first 2
competitive.
games he was there.
And
dude, he was fun to watch.
The only ults to really speak of here are the Cyphers. It is going to be a weaker buy for RRQ. This time, going to spread the map 2-on-2. Depp pushing space towards the garage, and there is trapwire in there. Does it get cleared? Yes.
Salvo able to go ahead. Clear the way for them. Quick little injection of pressure over towards that garage, and then a very quiet slide out. Zeta pivoting back over towards this A site. It's just Moniette jiggling with a classic. Just trying to gain info here for the team. Catches a glimpse, has
at the moment, RRQ don't have much info.
But Zeta's been tricky. They've been not overcommitting to many of these hits, especially against the Ecos. They're very, very patient. We saw it earlier in this half. So RRQ there, not really going to overcommit, just slide the extra player over from B.
This is nice though.
That's going to send
the one passing keeps
over.
The question mark there. Still got a question mark in garage with the recon getting shot. They lean over towards A to keep 3 here. The one person fake with the smoke drone makes them use all their smokes. Now they can just side hit here.
Weaponry is going to be limited here for RRQ. Fast lane going to go up. Xpero tucked away. Oh, quick turn, finds one, cannot get the second.
This was a lovely round from Zeta though.
Oh, Depp.
Cushy down, means Guardian on the floor. Moniette does manage to go ahead and pick it up, but Jemkin. The distraction, the flank.
Yeah, this is like perfect from them.
Thrifty,
no one taking any risks.
Sight, but Zeta up to 6.
They've been very, very good in these anti-eco rounds with being patient.
They played really well.
Giving anything away. And then, so this time it's just a great fake sell by Clues. Nice positioning by Xpero to, again, dodge all the utility from Zeta's execute, but it's only able to find one for his troubles. Depp looking really comfortable on Neon, and the spirit's very good for Zeta. You can hear it in the comms. Still having some fun, and Depp, this is what happens with him. He might have a bad
big change up from RRQ. First time they get the op out
right
on Monyet.
time and time again.
Don't do what I think you're going to do.
He's abysmal on split, and now he's the hero for Zeta here on Haven so far. Just waiting at the edge of the smoke is Monyet.
I'm a fan of it. What he's going to do that peek here again that everyone does. Dude, Shorts is kind of wrecking people. Jemkin's also getting absolutely owned. Jemkin had a good pistol, and then every other round he's getting annihilated.
It's over towards Hell. Shock dart down. Tiny bit of damage going to be found there as Depp eats a bit more there on the approach, but he just barrel stuffs Cushy right out through the smoke. Arrow depth reveal here from X-Feral. Not looking like it means too much to Zeta. Shrugging this one off. Quick push up into the smoke. Monyet able to find one. Swaps the weapon over. Catches a shot on the Depp. Finishes him off. Crazy guy finds clues.
It's nice from Monyet in the end. Dude, I still like what Zeta did though, really. They were very patient on this one.
Great patience here by Monyet.
I think it's great patience as well from everyone. But like they deal with the smoke well. They insert one in the smoke, then they salvo to try and push them into the smoke here. Like Monyet just hits a nice shot with the jump. Shorty. That kills crazy though. What even is that?
Great swap of the weapons, and Depp is sure he's gone down the sewers.
The Depp kill is silly.
I don't know what's happening.
I'm pretty sure I heard. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too a bit.
Oh, wow.
Oh god, the flash is insane.
Destroys him, and Crazy Guy playing forward aggressively collects the kill. Solid little set play here from the side of RRQ.
They were.
I think the vulnerable caught him too.
Ooh. I was thinking that they were out of the Omen flash to not hit the TP, but
Zeta's been relying on. There's just pings everywhere at the moment
here. Oh,
Zeta. Monyet.
If RRQ can get 6, they're in a really good spot.
This right now is looking good for RRQ to try to rally back a bit. Still an opportunity to make this 6-6 from the defender's side and from how everything was going. Would still be a very strong position for them. Zeta not wanting to allow that to happen. Slow creep in. Jemkin going to be forced off the angle. Still has this shield at the ready.
Mate.
He's just going to swing for it, and this time.
You know they're there and he doesn't pop the shield? Sure.
And that's going to be a flawless here as RRQ.
I mean, I'm still, as a coach, I'm still questioning some really decisions made, but there's a nice shot here.
You know, finally you're able to get some value out of the operator. You have that early combo with the util to set up the kill for Crazy Guy. Jemkin, back to what we're used to seeing out of Jemkin. A lot more consistent there with the shooting. Hasn't won a kill contract yet, I don't believe.
Nope. He's 0 for 2 in that regard. Maybe a chance.
There's a chance this round.
Get one on the board.
Yeah. I mean, he's still
got the op out.
Yeah, he's still 11-9.
And similar default over towards A. They tank so much damage they don't want to go for the A default this time. And Depp is absolutely sending it.
Pushing here.
God, what are you meant to do against that?
Left on an island. Up on top of the
and then they Omen all under and then end up pinching the site. Wait, this is kind of cool. Oh, nice shot. Wait, you managed to get out of it. Insta ult. We've got no hesitation. Picks up the... Oh, I thought he picked up the rifle.
A 3v3 with Monyet down low. Sends it the fake out. Jemkin able to find one. Now the ult going to be invested.
Dude, you're done for, mate. You're getting traded no matter what, even if you win this one.
He's going to win this and then somehow survive. But you can see Clues was going to be in position all the same, so the round was effectively over. Zeta Division not going to allow for the tie-up. It's going to be 7-5 at the half, but Zeta need to get things going here. They need to find the first pistol of this series because 7-5 is still not bad at all for RRQ.
No, yeah. This is very respectable.
Guy hit some nice shots.
RRQ. You know, first time
running 0-3 ISO ult's really criminal. Really let's think. Two of them were with shield as well.
Rounding and things like that. Some shaky rounds too, but frankly, you know, like Zeta's looked good in a couple halves. Well, there was one half where RRQ just ran away with things.
Top fragging as well, yeah.
I hope that's not going to be the case here, and Zeta's able to kind of maintain their grip. With RRQ
the worst
on the
ISO ult
now,
win rate of any player. I mean, at the moment, yeah.
Different look with this double duelist
it's hard to be worse than this.
Even in general,
but he's still got an attack half, and he'll probably get like 2-3 ults.
Big pistol coming up for both teams. But it is
all
weird
with the
to
shield
see
that's
Jem,
changed.
like, you think with the kill contracts, you're just like, oh,
the
he's
change
money.
is, if you
But
get
he
the
hasn't
kill, then you get the
been
ult.
broke.
You don't
Yeah,
have
I
the
mean,
shield
call
when
it
you
like
go into the ult.
his KD at
Communism with the
half,
Prime, thank you for the 8
basically,
months.
like,
Thank you.
narrowly
Two, I think?
positive.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But there were so many kills that we got to see where it's like, okay, like those kill contracts, those 2 that he whipped, should have been his. That last one that he whipped should have been his. That would have been 14 and 9. A couple of those
Boom will
other
win
kills
against
were just
Paper X tomorrow.
off-kilter, not finding shots.
I mean,
That
I
picked
went
the
for
team
Paper
through when
X
he's
in
trying
my
to anchor down on
pick'ems.
B. Watch for those
But
flanks.
what
Not
actual
what we're used to
percentage am I
seeing
giving them? Like,
as far as the crispness is concerned.
Yeah.
am I giving Paper X
See how they
30?
fare. They're looking to go 4-0 on pistols.
Probably.
Slingshot their way back into this map.
But I believe in the 5%. That's all I'm saying. I give them 5%, but I believe in the 5%.
A crushing force from this defense, then I think Zeta's going to be just fine.
And he's just right
You
at the
give
door
them
of
the
shorty.
5% and you pred them.
Good luck
Sometimes you
reading
just
this.
gotta believe, man.
Not many teams will go for the shorty on the pistol round.
But if you want to go an entry into this, I mean, you have a nullifying factor. You can have Jemkin lead the charge with the shield, but it looks like they don't even want to try to play around with it. XCL at the same time, eating a headshot from Crazy Guy with a quick peek into that A connector.
Well, it feels like Jemkin hasn't been comfortable with the timings. Whoa, Monyet barely wins that. Hasn't been comfortable with the timings on the
They
the
just
double
avoid
taps.
that over towards
He hasn't really seemingly got the
garage as
read
well.
on when to pop them. It might be different on this attacker side. It's a little bit easier to judge when things are going to get messy usually.
Yeah, I do
It can be
think.
tough against Zeta because they are kind of slower. They will be a little bit more methodical than a lot of other teams in Pacific. So I get it. Oh, this tripwire though gives away everything.
Okay, but they don't know about numbers behind. They know there's one.
Player approach from behind.
And they know it's a neon because he got hit by it.
They attempted the retake. Monyet. Only one tagged at the moment. Everybody else damn healthy. And Jemkin now able to find a good timing with that shield. Might just come to save his life here as Monyet will be taken down. Jemkin swinging out and gets the reset. In Cushy now. Just Cushy. On the site, trying to hold things down, looking every which way.
The timing of him jumping out is the most perfect thing ever. Okay, 1-1 on the Pistols. 3-1. They're here.
Yeah, even though this is, I think, pretty well read by RRQ, Zeta's just a little bit better in the shooting department this time around. I mean, this time you have the double tap popped when it should be for Jemkin. He just loses the battle. It can be a real difference maker if he's able to get another reset on
Lost
that.
is now officially the first team to be out of
I think
playoffs.
it was clues from heaven, or somebody got him, and definitely
that's rough for them.
Big win for Zeta. And they could be pushing us to a map 3, pushing us over to Fracture. Outlaw for depth, couple Bulldogs, Guardian, Pistol for clues. No buy-ups at all for RRQ. Just gonna have to wait out the util dump. A little bit of spam, a little bit of damage.
2 players, no, 3 getting tagged up actually. Quick little jiggle peek.
Good stun though.
Gonna be good, bounce into the corner. Damage still dealt, using the fake out to try to body block here is Monyet. Puts around the corner though, up in front of the shield, runs out of bullets. Show if they're able to find one, but Clue's gonna be traded out. Pushes out the back, pivots away, finds one, but Pharaoh finds him, and suddenly the Thrifty looking to come to fruition. Slide across though in depth. Maybe able to bail them out, and he does.
Got close as well though, man.
2
These
players
rounds
barely surviving Zeta. They close out the
rounds
anti-eco.
All right.
My God, if it wasn't scary there for them for
No, don't buy.
Oh, it's scrappy as heck.
Still good. He's
I mean, the timing here, it looked like Zeta was going to have enough time to react. You know, Clues is playing pretty good delay there with Teo utility, but they're just not really able to get there comfortably in time. A lot of very happy Zeta fans. There's
oh wait, the guy is there.
In the back. Let's go.
I saw him. He just didn't have his normal seat.
Yes.
And if they can get the bonus conversion, then you have to be feeling like we are going to Fracture. Depth about to go for the jiggle peek. Decides to still slide forward with the stinger.
It's not like he has a nice idea on this. Dude, if they had numbers behind this, maybe.
Well.
Bro was late and his seat was taken.
Poor XDL.
He actually was.
He's shifting his direction over. Just trying to get Cushy closer to that ult. We'll be one away now from a Hunter's Fury, so
Clues would love them to come pushing on this angle.
Still low, it's nice.
Down to 10, but cannot confirm the kill.
And they don't know that you haven't
Though,
repeaked yet.
Players on RRQ
Yeah, they
with
do know.
66 HP between the two of them. Fake out baited there
Come
from
on,
window. Next deal.
What are we doing here?
Finds Moniette. Down to 5, so pretty even footing here for both of the teams.
Yeah, honestly, this could go very awry for RRQ. I like their read, though. Kind of guessing that the space will be clear, and if there is an outlaw there, you could probably trade.
30 seconds left.
Util is going to confirm for Zeta. Oh, good salvos.
Forces him off the angle, into the corner. Some time
Dude,
blind.
look at that
Everybody now
HP.
going to be in position. Paranoia at the ready from Crazy Guy.
Push close, but it doesn't matter about him. I'm flashing the teammate here.
Sends it off the back of the fault line.
If anything, it sells it.
Still in a good position to be able to get some damage done. Spots at the gun barrel, swings in, finding one,
Very
finding
nice.
two. And that's going to be cushy.
Okay, they handled it well in the end. Look how close it was, though. 56, 45, 10.
Not allowing for a bonus
Not convincing.
3 players survive.
Oh, man, yeah, they should just
themselves
take
a
that
round
info
win here
and
on the attack.
run with it.
These have been some really wild back and forth rounds. I mean, when you feel like one team has an advantage, the other team's able to punch back and make it close. Nice little trade there set up by Zeta in the garage, but at the end of the day, the better weaponry in the post-plant positions, very powerful for RRQ. Now they've got a Hunter's Fury to boot. So Cushy, let's see how they want to navigate that. Pretty far off, well, 2 away from Jemkin's kill contract. Deb getting reasonably close to his ult, which has proved to be a difference maker for Zeta. A lot of times you might see Neons just sit on that ult for rounds after rounds, but Deb happy to just let her rip, and he's so good with it. Why not?
Shields up wall, riding forward. Flash going to be turned away.
Damn, that's so nice with the wall, though.
Able to find the first elimination. Looks for a little bit more, but
The
Jemkin's
popping's
there to
really
bring
good.
back. She'll down play Cushy on a lurk, but looks like Depp at least anticipating somebody to come crossing in this direction. Cushy is more than happy to just stay tucked back.
Oh,
the gun barrel's going to be spotted. Depp now just wondering, how do I get him out of this position? They'll just go ahead and slide forward, innocently dump him. Not near. There you go. Cushy's dead. Player advantage out here for the side of Zeta Division as they look to continue the
so
retake.
funny.
Depp sliding forward,
Oh,
shut down,
he wins that.
overdrive. Does have him fall. I thought Jemkin maybe
No
would pull the
smokes
trigger
for this
actually on
one.
the
Oh,
ultimate.
I don't know if Moniette needs to go for this.
He does not. One-way setup. Diffuse held to half. First player fallen. Clues down. Moniette now pushing in from garage. He will find the
Goodness, this
final
is
two.
close, close, close.
Back-to-back rounds here
Force
for
him
the
down
side
to an eco. This is
of RRQ.
going to get close as well in terms of
Deficit
score.
now just 2.
Oh, fantastic post plant here from RRQ.
Damn, some Moniette's
is a
decisions are
tough
killing
one.
me
You
in
know, Zeta
dishonesty
doing
in this best
everything
of
they
3.
Being really aware.
I know he
of the
secures this
potential
one, but
positionings of RRQ players early. Into
plant-wise,
that spike
like he
plant,
gets lucky that they missed that.
Crossfire position. Great job by Crazy Guy playing his life. Not getting killed there makes that so much more difficult for Zeta and makes it so much easier for Moniette. That's going to bring the first time out from Zeta on
Dude,
this
that
map.
kill when
They
stunned
actually
is
haven't gone for one
actually
yet.
the round as well.
It's been looking pretty good for them, to be fair. See what kind of adjustments maybe want to be made. Very curious. I don't feel like I've seen a ton that Zeta's been doing like incorrect, but maybe XQQ and Carlisle noticed a tendency from RRQ they want to try to punish. But so far I feel like Zeta's been playing it pretty steady, pretty well. Just maybe want to get a little bit ahead of the game, not have to play for retake quite so much. Still though, nice bounce back for Zeta no matter how you slice it. Maybe we get to a map 3. Maybe we get another fracture today. Need all of that map I can get before it's gone again.
True.
But with these big ultimates, maybe this is what actually they want to talk about, was the kill contract and the Hunter's Fury, how they could maybe play ahead of that. I mean, Zeta is also on a weaker buy.
He has a good chance to
players
win
in
this one
mid.
because they have Stinger. They don't have the same guns.
They're just holding.
He
right?
has better
They're
guns
just kind of
and a
anticipating
shield.
that maybe after the timeout
So he
it's
should
gonna
be good for it.
hit.
Do they want to use it on the eco?
But nobody even thinking
Considering the
about that
money,
for RRQ.
I'd be so fine with it.
They're just gonna wait.
But if you
Just
lose,
hold
dude, if
angles.
you're losing the
Seems
ult
to
and
be
you
the
have
name of the
shield,
game
you
for
lose
Zeta
to like
here
a
on this eco.
sheriff. That is Stinger, I'll let you get away with a Sheriff.
RRQ does and react off the back of that. A drone.
They got a double.
Gets nothing.
Double dinky, basically.
Sees absolutely zero. So they got to be thinking, oh yeah, we've got a good read here at B, I swear.
Oh
really
god.
Gonna be sent depth sliding forward, collecting one cushion.
Yeah, the Euro TP's out of those, so they gotta speed up.
Weapon recovered. A site still gonna be opened up though. RRQ getting into a plant position.
Okay, does have double damage though. He can just tuck in on the heaven.
Shield is gone.
Just double. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say, and just double damage when they use some util, but he just rips it straight away.
Spike still not yet planted.
Keep an eye on the flank behind as well. They're going to create a lot of pressure with this one. They break the trip, but then he goes to join this team. But it does mean that we've got a question mark. And as we can see, two people looking at it.
Rather than later,
yep.
You know, you're going to have a decent opportunity as far as weapon advantage is concerned. And just getting the deficit closed even further. I think it would be worth sending the kill contract. But they think differently. Crazy guy holding here from the corner. Able to find one shot. They're going to be taking down. He gets himself a second. Sugar Zero. Depth answering one apiece. That's as good as
Crazy guy handled it well. TP really paid off.
But the round win still goes the way of RRQ.
Well, if your crossfires are good
RRQ have too many good ults for this round.
It's totally fine to just hold on to the ult. See if you can maybe save it for an execute then. The setup for depth there. Beautiful. Beautiful from XDL. Gave Zeta some hope. I liked how Zeta was keeping that rifle in the back of their conga line as they were going through a link. Just in case the ult came through, I think. You know, that way maybe you're giving yourself a good opportunity there to just throw a
they must be good for this one, right?
Kill some players and see
okay, I at least want to see. Honestly, I would go into this round, not if I'm Jenkin, obviously, but if I'm the IGL, I'm going into this round thinking Jemkin is 0-3 in his ults. So if we're going to ult someone, we need to make sure we're taking the space. Because honestly, I'm planning for a 0-4. I think you got to plan for a 0-4 here.
Dimensional drift fake out there to go ahead. Guide the rest
Dude,
of the
they
team
take sight for nothing, though. Absolutely nothing.
No one else really going to be noticed, and time is running out on the dimensional drift, so we'll just go ahead and gatecrash.
No, dude, you went so early.
Trying to go on a bit of a linger, caught in window.
Oh god.
Bolt committed, Jemkin winning it.
Lost the shield on this one, yeah. Big
away.
flash. Yeah.
So the flash just backpedaling in. Tucked behind the box. Fault line not going to connect. The jump up over the top. Sugar Zero can't plant his feet fast enough. Didn't even hit him. Tagged up, but still alive here for the moment. As Recon gets
what a shot that is.
Snappy readjust, finds Jemkin.
A good reposition from Depp.
There's an advantage here for the side of Zeta. Armageddon to try to clear the way. The push out of the smoke. Cushy and Crazy Guy both on point.
Did he hear him? Looks like he heard him. Ah, it's a shame. 6 HP, no time?
No HP. There's no time available. Crazy Guy will take him down, and we are tied up at 9-9.
And RRQ managed to keep the server ult.
The one celebrating.
Ah, that was really nice. Finally, Jemkin's able to win a kill contract. Took him long enough, but he got there, and
it was close.
Better late than never.
Yeah, it still felt close. There was an opportunity
to hold those boxes up at A lobby. That gave Zeta fits and slowed them way down. And even though they're able to do some serious damage, it's not nearly enough. And now Zeta's back onto an eco.
Did they love
Rolling Thunder for XDL? Still have a Hunter's Fury for Cushy.
After watching Americas, they do love a Sheriff over
this time a bit better covering fire.
Frenzy.
Not as much damage going to be suffered. 2 kills found, no chance at a Thrifty here.
Well, now they heard some other shots, so can use the ult there to confirm positioning. Zeta's just going to spread the map. Crazy Guy says, I know exactly where you aren't.
But he gives him a 1v1.
Clue seems to read this.
He does. Cannot find the shot.
Imagine that went the other way.
Crazy Guy still alive. Spike just now being brought forward.
I mean Stinger. Wait, what did I say?
Shota just hoping that he finds any kind of kill there.
I didn't say Stinger. Dude, I was so confident I said Stinger. Dude, we really need some sleep. Frenzy? Jesus.
Double approach from Heaven to try to see if we can get
sounded like a maniac. Oh, yeah.
Some very snappy shots from Xfero. We'll get RRQ now into the lead. For the first time since round 2?
Yep. Well, yeah, round 2. Yeah, because Zeta tied it up on round 4, so It's been a while, but they're getting there. They're clawing their way back, and they're looking really sharp doing it.
It's been 5 in a row.
Yeah, now they're starting to look pretty comfortable on this composition.
Yeah, we said. I mean, the comp is just better on attack.
Find some good openings.
They're a little bit off
Zeta
some of the ults
really
though. They still have this one.
Their economy.
And big change up from RRQ. The shock of the trip, and looks like they want to go fast on this.
Yeah, that catches the wire. Still have the cam there for Zeta.
Same pathing probably.
He's just gonna back the hell out. Sugar Zero there as well.
Okay, camera for retake. Does he check it early for numbers, or does he check it for the retake? Are they on top of this as well? There is a trip that they're going to have to jump over, so they are going to hear him. Damn, bro, that's massive.
Reads it well.
Yeah, that's a good reaction. Now they can fall back over towards him. They still probably feel like they need to take some map control. No way, no. How is Moniak got this?
I didn't see that in the replay, but now it's all down to Dep.
Oh no, how is Moniak got this?
And that's the ult gone.
He's out in the open, 2 people dueling him, survives, TP's behind him and still wins the duel. He still gets the kill.
But they lose out on their rolling thunder.
Oh god, the little sidestep.
It's brutal for Zeta. Not having somebody to make sure that XDL was going to be safe in that spot. Really good awareness from RRQ to understand, you know, where that ult was likely to be coming from and to get ahead of the curve.
Sick, man.
And it's perfectly timed.
He's so excited.
It's hard to do it better than that. And then Moniak just happy as hell because he TP'd right into their back lines and found value.
And it's a bit of luck. I mean, he has it preset.
Yep.
Panics, jumps out, and then just
hey, he had a good sidestep
Hey.
though. You gotta at least give him the sidestep.
Hey, that's part of the that's part of the Yoru game. Catching him a bit off guard, and Zeta trying to turn this one around. What was looking like they had a really good chance. Finally got that pistol win. Oh, cute kid.
Get him started on Valorant nice and early.
That's right. Get him that ultralight mouse.
Yeah. Brought to you by Pulsar Intense. So now, another opportunity here. Zeta. Can they break this win streak?
They didn't even have to use the ult.
Call of this map, potentially, of this series.
Okay, they wait for the push down, low push down, and they just rinse and repeat the same strat. Just this time with the ult, and they can add the Sova into this. So Sugar Zero, you got to get out of there, mate. You're about to get Sova with. Wait. Okay. I thought they were going to go for a combo, but instead they kind of went to duel this one. Dude, Dep tanked 1 hit from the ult, but still got a double kill.
Shock dart in, Cushy takes him down.
Whoa,
Crazy guy now.
what a 1v1 this is. It's a must win from Shota.
Spike collected, sets up the smoke, slowly looks to exit, but he has no idea about Shota's position.
Yeah, it's a tough one to read. Tough decision for Shota. Do you push through the smoke or not? Both of them kind of anticipating that they're going to push.
And Crazy guy is reading it correctly. The gun barrel about to be spotted. And
Really,
there's the
really
head,
nice.
there's the kill. A 3K from Crazy Guy. Another round in a row from RRQ.
What has there been?
As they get up to
No buy rounds.
Looking to make this a very swift evening indeed.
Tep just disrespecting everything, just trying to create space, and does. But the response from Crazy Guy, this is just phenomenal awareness.
Yeah, he outbrained him.
Phenomenal awareness. I mean, that's why you bring a player like him in. Has that big brain.
Moniak gets the outlaw out.
Just on sheer
Every
intuition.
single person can be one shot.
Huge. And everything in the kitchen sink in terms of the economy being thrown at this round for Zeta. They got to get 3 just to push overtime. That's the ult for Jemkin.
I think if I saw this correctly, we'll find out.
Is he going to get Dep? He
the
gets
pull here on
Dep,
the
so they know about the guy backside.
to win this fight. He cannot.
And this one he wins.
Jemkin will put him down. Exit the kill contract.
Lost them all on defense, won them all on attack.
With that, as far as the C site is concerned, they back away.
What were you going to mention just a second ago?
I was going to say, if Dep gets 2 kills in this round,
oh,
even if RRQ win it, I'm pretty sure he drops 30 in a loss.
Yeah, he had 28.
It's been insane.
Yeah, no. He is going crazy on the Neon. It's just not enough. And it's as good as some of the other players can be on his team. They just haven't quite found it here on Haven. There's a chance.
Slow up, camera cleared out. The fake out here is Manya taking a pot shot. Nothing going to be found. Once
enough
again,
to
the rotation
pull
call from RRQ.
One rotate over, keep 2 on site.
Like maybe that C
And then they
site
split over
all.
towards C. Sugar 0, 20 seconds.
Posted up here the entire time.
Smoke
XCL
and
now works his
flash.
way across
Smoke's
to try to
close.
reinforce.
Wait, should he be smoking close here?
The wall coming through. Back plat, spotted out. XDL gonna need to try to catch them here off guard. Finds the first 10 seconds now remaining. The spike being planted. Aftershock at the ready. Armageddon as well. Everything in the kitchen sink is gonna have to be Seven Xpharaoh able to cut them down.
Oh, shots, bro.
Transfer!
When he had 5 HP, he can one-shot him though. He's got the best possible gun for this.
5 HP. Does he know? He
Oh.
does, but he cannot get it,
Dude, they didn't get any buy rounds on attack, on defense
so
even.
very close. But Zeta Division.
Yeah, well, at least we got the proof that it's an attack-sided comp.
This series, 13-9 RRQ.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Def.
Secure the 2-0 victory.
Got to be feeling pretty good about RRQ right now. It certainly seems like they are finding a bit more form.
Yeah, and
they're
they look
finding
nice.
a bit more comfort. Yeah, it looked a little uncomfortable at first with Crazy Guy, but last couple of matches has been pretty good. You know, Zeta as well looking good, but you really got to like what you're seeing, especially from Crazy Guy. He had a great map here
This
on
version
Haven,
of
23
Zeta?
and 13.
I have more
Jemkin,
faith in
ISO,
this version of
shaky,
Zeta than the other ones.
First time out, you know, you can understand.
Like, this is the first time since they kind of lost
when
Laz
we
and
touched in on it earlier.
like
he
their,
was
I guess their main
positive
core.
too.
Like
When
this
we
is
look at it at
the
the end,
it's the best
positive
I've
too.
felt about them.
So he's
EDG match,
consistent
it's
as
I'm way
ever.
too
Good,
tired, man.
honest
I gotta sleep.
Well,
I'll raid
none
someone
of that
though.
sums the
Who's watching
power
it?
here today. 2-0s abound as both of our Japanese teams suffering some losses here. Zeta a bit more fire behind him.
Jobra, he's back for another 20-hour stream.
These two maps, but clearly still some work to be done. But I still am overall positive about the trend that they find themselves on.
Okay, he's online,
We'll
right?
go ahead and send it down to the stage. So of course have Jen standing by.
Massive congrats for today's winners, RRQ.
Oh, we did the wrong one
Now,
again
Crazy
because
Guy,
he's World Jobra.
If I can have you over here. I'm just gonna. Alright.
Can always make him watch it. Damn, dude. Out here just bullying streamers.
아, 팀의 합이 점점
Not meta, man.
올라오고
Fair play.
있는 것 같은데요. 아무래도 새로 합류한
Okay, Jack.
입장에서
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you. I'm gonna get some sleep. If you want to watch more Valorant, we are here in. Damn, that's a long time. That's kind of nice. Roughly like 9 hours, 9 and a bit hours if you're wanting to watch Americas, and then obviously I'll be here for Pacific tomorrow as well. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you all. Enjoy watching China with Jobra. Thank you so much, guys. Bye, bye, bye.
Before I join this team, I know that they are all good players.
Thank you,
very
chat.
sharp.
Thank you.
So when
Appreciate
I join
you.
in, I just
Bye,
try
everyone.
to find a balance between like my playstyle and then my teammate playstyle. And we work
YouTube chat. Thank
a
you so
lot
much
for
as well,
that,
guys.
and
Subscribe if you
it's
can.
tough.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
먼저
Appreciate all
들어오기
the support
전에
from everyone.
RRQ 선수들 워낙 에임도 좋고 좋은 선수들이 많이 모여 있다는 걸 알았기 때문에
Jobra, yeah, it has a
합류한
YouTube too, but I don't know how to
본인의
raid on
플레이
YouTube.
스타일과 RRQ의 플레이 스타일의 밸런스를 찾는데 굉장히 많은 노력을 했고 또
Appreciate you all,
시간을
guys. Thank you so much.
투자했고 그리고 지금 굉장히 좋은